Hey, y'all, we're Brooks and Dunn.
Woohoo! Let's play some football.
Let's play some football.
Yeah, they blow out on the field like TNT. Those pigskin junkies of the ACC. Get up, get on your feet, let's rock, let's roll. Get her done, get it on, tee it up, let's go. Seminoles, Canes, Tigers, I like them all. Ooh, let's play some football.
It's time for a Smash Mouth backyard brawl as the Wolfpack and Tar Heels face off in Raleigh.
Hey, let's play some football on Jefferson Pilot Sports.
Amato has instituted a new tradition for NC State. That's having his players walk from the bus to the locker room at Carter Finley Stadium through a maze of fans, a tunnel of fans cheering them on as they get ready for the biggest game of the season. And it should be a dandy, the 95th meeting between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Wolfpack of NC State. Bill Rosinski alongside Dave Archer, and you know, these schools are in the same conference, they're in the same state, and most importantly, they're about 20 miles apart. They don't like each other, and Dave, we already saw a little bit of that pregame warm-ups, little shoving, nothing serious.
Yeah, these guys play high school football against each other. There's a fever pitch right now.
All right, let's talk about our Toyota keys to the game, and Dave, a lot of focus on running the football.
Yeah, I think North Carolina has to run the football to help their banged-up quarterback, Matt Baker, and on defense, they've got to stop the run, a talented stable of running backs for North Carolina State. For North Carolina State, just eliminate the penalties. We talked about this with Coach Amato. He said if we don't penalize ourselves so much against Virginia Tech, we win that football game.
We got a big crowd on hand. Everyone's jacked up for this one, the 95th meeting, but in reality, the last 6, 3 wins apiece for each team. We'll be back as the teams take the field and get ready for kickoff.
Is being brought to you by Citgo for the road ahead, by Chevrolet, by Aaron Sales and Lease Ownership, by Cooper Tires, by BB&T, and by Advance Auto Parts.
Carter Finley Stadium, Raleigh, North Carolina. This intensity is incredible. The Wolfpack just took the field, and the crowd is electric, and why not? This is a great rivalry. Dave, we talked about establishing the run for the Tar Heels. Now, that's pretty tough to do against a front four that might be one of the best in the country.
I would agree with you. I think this is the strength of the NC State defense, is their front four, anchored by their 2 defensive ends, Lawson and Williams. They get after the passer, but they also take care of the run. They're 7th in the country.
All right, now, if you can't run the ball, you got to throw the football, and Matt Baker's been pretty good, and Jaworski Pollock is one of the best.
Well, they talk about the receiver corps at NC State, and rightly so, and maybe Jaworski Pollock is the guy you talk about. He's closing in on all of North Carolina's passing records. He has just 13 receptions away from the all-time mark.
And something we should also talk about, we did in our pregame, a jacket to protect the ribs of Matt Baker, and that's key today.
Took a couple of devastating hits against Wisconsin. That'll be key to see how he can move around and throw the football.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the kickoff, the 95th meeting between the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack here in Raleigh. Bill Rosinski along with Dave Archer up here in the press box. Down on the field today to enjoy this one is our own Mike Hogwood. Huggy?
Hey, thanks a lot, Bill. I want to tell you something. I think penalties are going to be a big part of this game. These 2 teams are tied as the 2nd most penalized team in the ACC. The team that gets the fewest yellow flags today, I think, has a leg up. I want to tell you, both guys up in the booth, it is really loud, really electric down here. Players have already started saying a few together. I think the coaches have that under control, but you get that rivalry sense down here on the field.
Well, we're getting it here in the press box, too. Here's a look at the series summary between these two schools, presented by Shutt Sports, the gear that makes the game. Of course, the all-time series, 94 games, and the Tar Heels have won 61. And oddly enough, 7 of the last 10 games right here in Raleigh. And then there was the very controversial finish last year where the Tar Heels held NC State at the goal line. There was a touchdown called, and they called it back. Ran one more play after that, and the defense for the Tar Heels stopped them. Wallace Wright, the senior, on your screen there for North Carolina. NC State won the toss, deferred. Duraney kicks off. Usually it's a touchback. And I have a sneaking suspicion we got another one. Going into the game today, Duraney had 12 kickoffs, 8 of them for touchbacks. That's why they're at the top, Dave, when taking a look at their special teams play this year. And Matt Baker, there are his numbers. He's the 5th-year senior from Rochester Hills, Michigan.
I think it'd be important for Matt Baker to get off to a good start, and by that I mean some help from both his running backs and his outside receiver core. Look for some quick passing to get Matt Baker off to a start, keep him from getting banged around with those bad ribs.
All right, we got Ricky Kipp and Barrington Edwards in the backfield. I formation on 1st and 10. Carolina at their own 20-yard line. And it's a handoff, and it's a strong run up the middle by Barrington Edwards up to about the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups. And we, of course, have already talked about Jaworski Pollock, a receiving core that needs to hold on to the football a little bit more.
It's a group that Coach Bunting said is very talented but dropped the football too much.
Stephen Bell, the starting center, a senior from Greensboro, anchoring that offensive line. Gain of 4, 2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Tar Heels. Edwards the lone setback this time. He's got the ball, trying to find a hole, and he's got one. Up to the 30. Room to run to the 40. Already to midfield. They wanted the running game to click, and it has so far for the Tar Heels. Out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. 61 yards. Miguel Scott finally chased down Barrington Edwards.
Outstanding blocking off the left side for North Carolina. When you look in behind, Charleston Gray and Brian Chacos create a nice crease in there. And you see the speed of Barrington Edwards. The 6', 215-pound sophomore blows off the left side for a big pickup.
Here's the team. Came in, North Carolina averaging 59 yards a game on the ground. 1st and 10, Carolina at the Wolfpack 14-yard line. Arnold down the ball game, and he is wrapped up and dropped as Mario Williams came up from the left-hand spot.
When you go back and look at this play, you look at Edwards finishing it off, but the blocking up front by the two big fellas, Brian Chacos and Charleston Gray, created the crease. And already, like you said, Bill, they've done more running the football in the first 2 plays than we've seen the first 2 games for North Carolina.
We do have a flag on the play. Ron Cherry is our referee. And we're waiting for his call. It's a short game. There was no gain on the play. Actually, a loss of a couple of yards. We'll see what the... We have too many men on the field. Well, no wonder that defense looked pretty good.
The illegal participation call. I mean, they were trying to get a group on the field, and there was too many on there.
On the play, heavy illegal participation. Defense. 12 players participated. And this is the goal.
And we'll say it's 11.
Negates a really good play by Mario Williams. The outstanding defensive end stepped upfield and stopped that play.
Let's take a look at our call to the recycle red zone. And there haven't been that many trips in their first 2 games, so 50%, not bad. Arnold is the tailback. Long count by Baker. And it's Arnold with the football, and he's tripped up and dropped. Good defensive play by Stephen Tulloch, number 50. We continue to look at the starting lineups, and let's take a look at the Wolfpack defense. And there is Mario Williams, 11 career sacks, as you can see. This is a veteran group up front, and Manny Lawson, a veteran senior. Linebackers, Oliver Hoyt leading the group there, and Marcus Hudson. Expect eventually the secondary to be tested by Matt Baker. No gain. Second down, about 4. Edwards, play action fake. He throws in the end zone, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Garland Heath. Garland Heath stepping in front of the intended receiver, and a turnover, a huge one in the end zone.
Well, Matt Baker gets a play action fake and does not find the safety. Garland Heath just steps back. He's the middle safety, and he just steps back out of the play action, is right in the throwing lane. Baker never finds him, never throwing the ball to the middle. You got to find that middle defender. Garland Heath does his job and snuffs out this big scoring opportunity for the Tar Heels.
And negates a 62-yard run that set it up by Barrington Edwards. And now quickly, the NC State Wolfpack offense is on the field. Jay Davis is the starting quarterback with Darrell Blackman, the tailback number 2. But Davis wants to put it in the air on first down. Looks like they were trying to set up a screen, going nowhere, and a huge hit. Ryan Rackley, number 42, makes the stop for the Tar Heels. We continue with our Chevy starting lineups. There is Tremaine Hall, who had 8 receptions for 97 yards in the loss to Virginia Tech. Leroy Harris is in the middle, anchoring that center.
Well, coming in today's action, Tremaine Hall is the leading receiver in the ACC.
Also, here's a quick screen out to the far sideline. Tremaine Hall's got the football, but not a lot of running room as the North Carolina defense does a nice job of staying in their zones and forcing them out at the 24-yard line. And now let's take a look at the North Carolina defense. There's Tommy Davis. Starts at right end. Rackley, Page, and Guy in there as well. Tommy Richardson's going to do a lot of the signal calling today because the veteran Doug Justice out for the season, and Carey anchors that secondary. Gain of 5. It's third down and 5 yards to go for the Wolfpack. Davis feeling some heat again. It's a screen for Carey. He's going to be sacked back at the 5-yard line. Tommy Davis just had his picture on the screen. We'll get the sack.
North Carolina's going to come with a pressure look. They're going to play man coverage in the secondary. They're going to pressure, but what they do is they shove the line and the screen back into Jay Davis. Davis has nowhere to throw the football, so he has to eat it. And Tommy Davis comes up with a sack.
Brandon Tate deep for the Tar Heels.
Delaney will call it. The snap is high, but they don't put on much of a rush, but he's still off the side of his foot. It'll be picked up by North Carolina at the 10-yard, 5-yard line. Touchdown, Carolina! Quentin Person picked up a botched punt. Almost a shake. I don't know if they got a piece of it. The ball was rolling free around the 10. He grabbed it and scores a touchdown.
Well, the snap is too high. Delaney just barely gets the ball in his hands when he tries to punt it. It's blocked, and Holly picked it up on the bounce and scored.
Point after a kick by Connor Barth.
So North Carolina comes out of the box with a little bit more intensity than the hometown NC State Wolfpack. 2 big plays, the long run and then the block punt that results in a touchdown.
Well, another quick change, and Connor Barth will try the extra point, and it is up and good. And that was my other number 9, Jesse Holly, who did pick that ball up and score a touchdown. But North Carolina with the early edge over NC State here in the first quarter. ACC football is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Well, what a start we've got here today. North Carolina on a shank punt after a bad snap in the end zone, picks up the loose ball and scores a touchdown. This after North Carolina had busted off a huge run in their opening drive, got inside the 10-yard line and turned it over on interception.
The dueling number. We got with the dueling number. 2 number 9s for North Carolina. Quentin Person is the person that picked up the ball and scored.
Blackman back deep in the end red zone, and this will not be returned. So 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack at their own 20-yard line. Here it is again, Dave.
Well, it was a high snap which delayed Duraney's ability to get it off. Good rush from the outside, and then Quentin Person scoops it up on the bounce and scores. Just a good job of recognizing where he was and making a play.
And that was all luck on my call, picking up his Person. There's 2 number 9s. And Jay Davis has already been sacked twice today for the Wolfpack. They try to establish the running game in here, and they've got Tony Baker with the football trying to turn the corner, and he can't do it. Good defensive play. Cedric Holt, the corner, the senior from Wadesboro, came up and made the hit. With that on the sideline to Mike.
Quentin Person, who scored that touchdown, just a sophomore. Last year, he only played on special teams, and that's really become his specialty. He's getting a lot more time on defense now. He's earned some playing time, but how do you like this? You grow up in North Carolina, and you get your first career touchdown against NC State, the big rival.
Loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Play action pick. It'll screen out to the left side, and this is T.J. Williams, the tight end, breaks a tackle. Actually steps out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
Right now, the intensity in this game belongs to that guy's team, John Bunting.
5th year, and 2-2 in the series, as you can see. And I asked him this week, you know, what's this week like for you? And he said, well, we treat it the same as every other week until Saturday morning. I found that hard to believe.
Yeah, until you run out of the end zone and start banging into the other team.
All right, 3rd down coming up, shotgun formation. Five-man rush. A lot of time for Davis. Dumps it off over the middle. Tony Baker. A lot of running room. He's to the 40. He's to the 50. And finally tripped up and dropped at the North Carolina 41-yard line. Jermaine Goddard finally brought him down a 36-yard play.
Now, North Carolina's trying to put some pressure on the quarterback, which means you got to bring more than 4. This time they come with the blitz through the middle of the linebacker. They lose Baker slipping out of the backfield. Easy throw for Jay Davis. And now it's Baker in the open field. Nice open field tackle to limit him not going all the way.
So the Wolfpack, who had a fairly easy time of it last week in their game against Eastern Kentucky, they led 31-0 after the first quarter. Down 7-0 here. Won the first at Carter Finley Stadium. It's the first down. It's a fumbled snap. It's loose. I think Carolina's got it. And they do. Botch snap between the quarterback and the center, and it's picked up by Cedric Holt.
Talked about keys to the game before we started, and it's about eliminating mistakes. Bad snap on the punt results in a block. Here, a drop snap from Jay Davis in his center. Leroy Harris, and North Carolina's got it.
And we have a penalty flag thrown as well. And where did this come from? Chuck Amato talking about this rivalry this week said, hey, we're close when the same
Illegal
conference.
participation on the defense. 12 men
man.
participated in the previous play. That's 15-yard penalty from the previous play. First down.
Wow, what a big mistake there.
Bill, we talked about these two teams being the most penalized in the ACC, both coming in with 20 penalties apiece. And we've already seen 2 illegal participations, one for each squad.
Well, that negates a turnover. You see the Aaron scoreboard. BC with that early lead at Clemson down in Death Valley. All right, so that penalty puts the ball at the North Carolina 26-yard line. Wolfpack first down 10. And another flag. Whew. Cherry's a busy man.
False start, 62 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Offensive guard Dwayne Herndon comes up out of his stance a little too early. This happens when you've been getting pushed around a little bit. North Carolina's kind of owned the line of scrimmage the first couple series of downs, and so he's trying to get out of it to protect his quarterback.
First and 15 at the 31 in Tar Heel territory. And again, somebody moved too soon. Well, you can't blame the crowd for this. This is the home team having trouble at the line of scrimmage. That time, Derek Morris jumped too soon.
Prior to the snap, false start, 72 on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I think he's talking about Derek Morris, and when you're 6'7", 330 pounds, they're not going to miss you when you move early, Bill.
And once you start, it's hard to stop.
That's right. Great matchup over there, Morris. Working on Davis. That's a nice matchup.
So here you had it 1st and 10 at the 26. Now you're 1st down 20 from the 36-yard line. Good news for the Wolfpack. You still got the football. Boy, it looked like they moved the game too soon. Big rush, screen, dump it off to the running back Baker. Baker hits, spun around, breaks the tackle, keeps going. Great effort down to the 31-yard line.
Well, you can see why they're so excited about this parade All-American freshman. He just is a guy that does not want to go down. You called it right, Bill. It's a screen pass. Takes a little bit too long to develop, which allows North Carolina to rally to the play. But now it's a matter of getting the freshman on the ground. And you see he doesn't go down easily. Ends up picking up a nice gain for his quarterback. It's a simple screen. Rackley out there to make the tackle. Couldn't get the freshman down.
2nd down, 5 yards to go, or excuse me, that was a gain of 5, so it's 2nd and 15. And Davis short drop this time. But it's slant over the middle, and it's caught by Tremaine Hall. Takes a tackle, weaving through traffic. He's down to the 15. Coughed up the football, but I think they'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and that will be a 1st down.
If there's anything you love as a quarterback, Bill, it's yards after the catch. This was just a little slant route, and then Tremaine Hall shows his ability to make people miss in major traffic. Just going to run the slant route. 3 steps up, break it to the inside, well-thrown ball by the quarterback, and now it's a punt return. And Tremaine Hall does a good job.
So the Wolfpack are in the red zone. They're at the 20 or 15-yard line, 1st down and 10. Terrell Blackman is the lone running back this time for Jay Davis. He wants to put this one in the air. Feeling some heat, nobody open. Now he throws it to the tight end, and it's caught at the 10, the 5, and out of bounds. T.J. Williams. And he gives the Wolfpack a 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line.
T.J. Williams bails out his quarterback. Jay Davis wants Tremaine Hall down the middle. Now he has to scramble out. And T.J. Williams presents himself to his quarterback. Watch the athleticism now. At 6'3", 260 pounds. I talked to one NFL scout before the game. They're comparing, and I hope he doesn't mind the comparison, to former North Carolina Algie Crumpler, now at the Atlanta Falcons. That's who they're comparing T.J. Williams to.
Pretty good comparison.
Not bad.
Tony Baker, the tailback in the eye, 1st and goal, and it's Baker with the football. He stutter step at the line, but he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ballmer, number 90, was able to knife through and get some arms around the running back. Chuck Amato's got a slew of running backs he can choose from, and he told us yesterday, he said, these guys are still in diapers. A lot of freshmen, a couple sophomores, a lot of talent in that backfield.
Bunch of youngsters, and they all try to make a play when they're field. They realize it's limited playing time. We've already seen Baker make some plays for this team.
8th play of the drive coming up. Lost the yard there. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Play action. Davis wants to throw. Fires in the end zone. Oh, and he missed a wide open Anthony Hill, who had a step on the defender. And a missed opportunity there for the Wolfpack. So it'll be 3rd and goal. North Carolina State. The 4-yard line.
Set up the play really well. Good play action. Carolina crowded the line of scrimmage. And Anthony Hill slipped out and was going to the back corner. His quarterback just didn't put enough air into the ball so he could run underneath it.
Well, we've got Manny Lawson at the bottom of your screen. I don't know if you can see him there as a receiver. And it's going to be a pass to Lawson, and he gets picked up in the end zone, but there's no flag. Pass is incomplete. Tremaine Goddard on the coverage. Well, they tried to sneak in Mario Williams, who was compared by their coaching staff to Julius Peppers, who played at North Carolina, and now the Carolina Panthers use in situations as a wide receiver.
Well, the 2 receivers on this play are your 2 defensive ends. Manny Lawson on one side, Mario Williams on the other side. And all Manny Lawson can do is run a 4.440 and jump 39 inches off the ground at 6'5", 240. Not a bad guy to throw to.
John Duraney will try a field goal. 22-yarder. It is up. It is good. Well, if you're a Wolfpack fan, you're thinking, well, we had lost the ball on a turnover, got it back on a penalty, got a field goal on it. 7-3. North Carolina back after a word from your local stations. Well, we've had turnovers, we've had penalties, we've got a touchdown and a field goal, and the fans are certainly enjoying this. Chuck Amato not exactly happy, but he gets 3 on that scoring drive. 22-yard field goal by Duraney. 10 plays, 76 yards, and the key there, I think, the whole key to that series, Dave, was them fumbling the ball, but a penalty by North Carolina, and the Wolfpack able to keep it.
Illegal participation cost North Carolina taking over the football around midfield.
Duraney kicks off, as I said. These are usually touchbacks. This one might be, no, it's going to go through the end zone as well, and North Carolina will get the ball at the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game. We talk about running the football. Well, there's your answer. And I think last year, North Carolina, that's the only game last year where they ran big-time yardage, but didn't win the game, NC State.
And you know what that is, Bill, is that's controlling the line of scrimmage. That means you're controlling it on offense, and you're probably taking care of the other teams running the football on defense. So you're controlling that area that kind of dictates how the game rolls.
So North Carolina first down and 10. Barrington Edwards, the tailback to Matt Baker. Edwards has the football, turn in the near corner. That's a nice block. 25, 30, and out of bounds, and a first down. I'll tell you something, Dave. We looked at this number. That's a gain of 11. How poorly North Carolina had been on first downs coming into this game, and they've improved that considerably.
Yeah, I think against Wisconsin, they had 20 yards on first down from their 2 backs. This time they get a great block from Charleston Gray on the potentially All-American Manny Lawson, the defensive end, which gets the back to the outside. So good job right now by the offensive front.
The gains of 4 and 11 on first down. This is a first down play for the Tar Heels. Back by Baker, play action. Williams, the tight end, bit on it. He's going to take it upfield. Takes it to the 40. Still going, and he'll slide up at the 48-yard line. Well, there's your left end, Mario Williams, biting on the handoff.
Well, that's exactly what it is, Bill, and it's you got to stay disciplined at defensive end. I know you're aggressive and you're a heck of a player, but if you crash down, you see 9 crashing down to the inside. Now Baker makes the wise decision, got a lot of room to run. No, this is not Marcus Vick, but he has the ability to get down the field and pick up a nice gain for North Carolina. Just the defensive end crashing.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line for the Tar Heels. Backs are in the eye this time. Receivers high and low on your screen. Draw play. Edwards, big hole up the middle. He's to the 40. And another first down to the NC State 37-yard line. 14-yard pickup that time right up the gut.
The draw play, you saw that there in the middle of your screen was Charleston Gray, number 77. I don't think you can say enough about what Chacos, Gray, Bell, Ralph, and Seagraves are doing up front. We talked about the NC State front 4 and the strength. It's the strength of their defense. Well, right now, North Carolina's offensive line is having their way.
And they've run left, they've run right. That play right up the middle. First and 10. Edwards again, up the middle. This time the defensive line closes. Ted Tyler among the red shirts on the tackle. Check our Aaron's scoreboard. Still down in Death Valley. Boston College with that lead over Clemson. Big game for both teams because they're coming off very disappointing losses a week ago. The Buckeyes at home with a touchdown made over Iowa. And the rest of the scores in some of the early games. And there's Miami at home, scoreless with Colorado. Edwards has already had 5 carries for 91 yards. That's Holly in motion, top of your screen. Shotgun formation for Baker. Blitz up the middle, and he's going to have to throw it away. He had Edwards there. They had Edwards there. John McCargo, number 90, was breathing down the throat of Matt Baker.
Well, they wanted to screen to Edwards in the right flat, but such a good rush by McCargo. He blows up the play. They want to dump the ball to Edwards in the flat. And finally, Baker makes a good decision here, throws the football away.
They got James Martin and Ronaldo Moses in at the 2M spots. But Williams is out there as well. Oh, Williams, he's almost looking like a linebacker out there. He's right over the top of the center. He's moving around. Here's a big third down call for the Tar Heels. Baker in trouble. Protection holds. Now he's going to have to scramble, and he tries to throw it away, and they're going to call him for intentional grounding. Manny Lawson got a piece of it as he hit the quarterback.
I think Baker gets pressure. It's a good job of protection early. See, he sets in the pocket. Now he feels a little bit, just floats. Still pretty good protection, but credit the secondary for North Carolina State. Now he's going to get called for grounding here. If I'm a quarterback, I'm arguing right here the fact that the defensive end got on my arm or hit the ball. I mean, you're trying to sell anything at this point.
Watch on the right of your screen. Well, we're not going to see it. This is a replay of him scrambling.
If he gets the arm. Yeah, see, the ball gets batted by the defensive end. I think that's a bad call.
As that play started, Manny Lawson blew up Skip Seagrams at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Real good job by the NC State secondary that time to allow North Carolina State to get pressure on the quarterback.
The punter, David Wildridge, on the field for the first time for North Carolina. Blackman back deep, snapped over his head. There's ball on it, and there it is at the 15-yard line. And another flag at the line of scrimmage. Hold everything.
That's got to be illegal motion. You can't be on the line of scrimmage and motion inside. Number 29, Wallace Wright, motioned inside. This will be against North Carolina.
And there's also an injured Wolfpack player down
Illegal
the 15-yard
formation.
line.
On the penalty is declined. Goes down.
Marcus Hudson is the injured NC State player. And he was trying to go after that football, was involved in that tackle on the punter.
Well, let's explain the penalty real quick. If you're lined up on the line of scrimmage, you try to get an explanation. If you're lined up on the line of scrimmage, which Wallace Wright was, he cannot motion to the inside, and he did that. And that's where your penalty got.
The Tomatos team has the football when we come back. There is Marcus Hudson, the injured Wolfpack player, and they're working on him on the sideline, injured on that bad snap by the Tar Heels. And now here's NC State at the 14. Draw play. Baker trying to turn it outside left. Room to run at the 10. 5. Touchdown. Wolfpack. Tony Baker leaves a number of white jerseys lying on the ground in disgust. 14-yard touchdown run.
Wow, that was impressive. You're taught as a running back to split defenders because they're not really interested in hitting each other. And that's what Baker does here. He stretches this as much as he can. Now he's going to get north and south right there. Splits defenders. And they're not interested in banging on each other. And that's a heck of a run from a freshman.
John Durante will tack on the extra point. It is good. And just like that, the Wolfpack have taken the lead. And here's another look at this replay. And 13, Cedric Holt almost whips on him. Here's the last chance for the Tar Heels.
That's the decision right there to get north and south. That's what got him in the end zone. He came with conviction and got in the end zone. That was a great run.
Well, special teams have certainly played a part in this game, Dave. We had a bad snap and a bad kick to help set up North Carolina to get on the board. And, of course, that bad snap helping the Wolfpack get on the board. Altel presents Text to Win ACC Trivia Challenge. Here's today's question. Which player was UNC's captain on the victorious 92 Peach Bowl team? Tommy Thigpen, Octavius Barnes, Rick Steinbacher. Use your Alltel wireless telephone to text your answer to short code ACCFAN. That's 222-326. Or visit jpsports.com to submit your answer. You'll be entered to win a trip to the ACC championship game.
Wow, that's a nice prize.
And let's get go back on the down to the sideline. Mike with an injury update.
Well, actually, I want to make a comment about Tony Baker, who scored that touchdown. You know, Chuck Amato kind of downplays all these young running backs, says, yeah, we're going to play all of them. He was the first guy out on the field to congratulate Tony. He had a huge smile on his face, and the chest just lifted him up on the ground and said, way to go, you're the man. It is going to be really hard for Chuck Amato to keep number 22 over here on the sidelines.
Rainey's kickoff fielded by North Carolina. And a rare return against NC State. And turning the corner. A lot of running room upfield for Brandon Tate. Nice shift of gears, and he takes it all the way up to the 38-yard line. That is a 38-yard return.
Not bad, because he ran out of his shoe about halfway through the return. This is one where it's such a screwy kick because it bounced down there, allowed NC State to get some coverage. But this was done a lot on Brandon Tate by himself, and half of it without his shoe, as he blows through it right there and then got another 15 or 20 without the shoe. So good effort, Brandon Tate.
A wild and woolly first quarter. NC State now has the lead, 10-7. 4:33 to go in it. John Bunny would like to see his offense continue to pound it on the ground, but they're in a shotgun formation right now. Cooter Arnold is the running back to the right of Baker. It's a pitch to Arnold, and he's in trouble, but gets by a tackler, takes it to the 40. He's to the 50 and out of bounds in NC State territory. Garland, he finally chased him out in a pickup of 15. Dave on a play that looked like the Wolfpack defense had him wrapped up.
Well, it looked like they should have made the play here. This is just a matter of an athlete making somebody else miss. Cooter shut down right here, just makes the defender miss, and then he picks up a wall of blockers. Big lick by Heath. Slides Cooter Arnold right underneath the North Carolina bench. Big run.
Freshman out of Knoxville. He's got the football again, and the blocker in front of him turning the near corner. And he's all around the 41-yard line. And a big hit that time by Oliver Hoyt. Our Suzuki walk-on way of life feature player. And there he is, Chris Young. Hometown kid.
North Carolina's doing a real good job of blocking the edge. The two defensive ends have not been a factor so far for North Carolina State.
Second down, about 4, draw play. Cooter Arnold again. Nice cutback move, and he's got the first down at the 35-yard line. Good instincts there. And you know what, Dave? John Bunning said this week, our O-line has been doing a decent job of run blocking. It's up to the running backs. If they're getting 3 yards, they need to make 4 or 5. They need to make 6. He's putting the onus on these guys, and they've come through today so far.
Well, I think a lot of that, Bill, is experience, being on the field, having a chance. We're talking about a freshman here in Cooter Arnold who's showing some pretty good plays.
He's got the ball again. Big hole up the middle. Oh, and tripped it. Just wrapped around the neck and horse collar down at the 31-yard line.
Certainly this North Carolina offensive line has taken the challenge. They've heard all week about NC State's front four, and they have really taken the game to North Carolina State. And these young running backs, Barrington Edwards, the sophomore, and Cooter Arnold, the freshman, have been the benefactor. They're hitting the hole and hitting it fast.
Well, on first down, they're averaging over 8.4 yards. That's impressive. Especially when you've done nothing the first 2 games on first down. Edwards back in the ballgame at running back, but it's a play action. Baker with time, fires, and another drop. Boy, I don't know what Baker's numbers would be this year if his receivers could hold on to the football. Wallace Wright had that between the 2 and the 9 and missed it.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Wallace Wright to step up. He runs a good route. He gets to the inside of the corner. Now just work back to your quarterback. Squeeze the football. You let that ball get into your chest. Take your eyes off it. Reach out. Pluck it with your hands. Well, it was a great opportunity. Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator, been setting that up with that run game. Come out, play action, receiver wide open.
Yeah, the run game's been good. The passing game hasn't been there so far for the Tar Heels. They'll have to be here now on 3rd down. Empty backfield, Baker the shotgun. Over the middle, and that's caught by Pollock, and it depends on the spot. To us Pollock makes the catch. There's also a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And it would be a first down based on the markers I'm looking at. Let's see what the penalty's for. Against North Carolina, so another crucial penalty. Here you got a third down conversion. And instead, it's going to be third and a bunch again outside about third and 12 maybe. John Bunting looking on, going what? Why?
Illegal formation. Offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. We'll replay the down.
They've had a tough time with this, Bill, this year. We talked to Coach Bunting, and he said that at some point the onus has got to fall on the senior quarterback, Baker, to get everybody lined up properly. That's a tough one when you're stretched out across the field with 5 receivers. 2 of those receivers know they need to be on the line of scrimmage. I think the onus has to fall on them.
So it's 3rd and 11, Tar Heels at the Wolfpack 31-yard line. I think North Carolina State was offside. So sack back at the 50-yard line. I don't see a flag. Wow, what a huge jump by John McCargo. Manny Lawson finally finished off the play, but it was almost like he knew when the snap was coming, and it's 4th down.
Play blew right through that guard center gap. McCargo almost got back there about the same time the ball did.
Wow.
No chance for Matt Baker on that play.
And those plays, you wonder if he has seen something. Ball center, some kind of motion or maybe a little twist of the ball to let him know when that snap's coming.
Hey, you talk about as a quarterback, you have to change the snap count up a little bit, some hard counts to try to draw them off.
Woodward's a punt. Blackman is back deep for the Wolfpack. He almost blocked that. That was a high snap as well. Hits at the 25. Got a flag at the line of scrimmage again. And the Tar Heels were down this around the 6-yard line. But let's wait and see what this flag is for. Looks like it's going against the Tar Heels again.
Illegal formation. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
I think John Bunting would like to get his team together here. He wants to talk to Ron Cherry. You tell me what this is about. What's the problem?
Well, they're ending up with 6 on the line of scrimmage. There must be 7 lined up on the line of scrimmage. And with the 2 outside guys, punt coverage-wise, the gunners have to look at the referee that's on the sideline, confirm they are on the line of scrimmage. They'll point at him. And they'll say, yeah, you're on the line of scrimmage. Then you're good. I think these guys are failing to get that done.
There we go, another punt. He just got that away. This is returnable. What, fair catch called? I think, yes, at the 22-yard line. And we got another flag. 32-yard punt, no return. Well, this has been a flag fest, but these have been one of the most penalized schools in the NCAA this year, and nothing's changed there. And let's see what this call is for. Jerry, what? Who?
I can't tell where Tremaine Hall tried to call for a fair catch.
Disability of game. It's a 5-yard penalty, and we have a first down.
What that is, delay a game. That means they don't have a qualifier for signaling for a fair catch. So what you've done is you stopped the play and then you went ahead and continued to delay a game.
All right, so NC State football at their 17-yard line. They lead by 3 in the final minute 16 of a wild quarter number 1 here at Carter Finley in Raleigh. Davis, a pitch. Baker gets by one tackler, breaks another, turns the corner. What's that happen? And out of bounds near the 28-yard line. Tony Baker had 2 white jerseys zeroing in on him, and he made a miss.
This play, for all intents and purposes, should be blown up right there. Now Rackley has a shot at it. He stiffs him off, and then good job on the edge blocking by Anthony Hill to get his running back around the corner. But this is that's just a great effort by a young running back.
That parade All-American, and everybody was after him. Tennessee, Virginia Tech, and both of these schools said he felt most comfortable here with the Wolfpack. Davis wants to throw. It's got a little swing at the Baker, and it's knocked down. Is that a free ball? That might be a fumble. No whistle yet. Picked up by North Carolina. Not yet. Down around the 4-yard line. I think that's a turnover. I think they're going to call that play a lateral, a fumble, and North Carolina ball at the 4-yard line. There was no whistle on the play. And we might be looking at a replay. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. The ball was tipped. That's what Chuck Amato is signaling.
Well, the ball was batted at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Rackley got across. The defensive end gets his hand on the ball.
Yeah, my point is he behind the quarterback? If that's a lateral, then that's just a knockdown. I'd review that play. If I'm John Bunting, where's this throw made? Look, he's going backwards. That's not a forward pass. That's a lateral and a free ball, I would believe. If I'm John Bunting, I want to review, and we're getting a whistle here, and this might be what the guy upstairs is looking at.
Let's remember that it's not the coach's option to review it. They have to review it from upstairs. It's their decision to make the review.
Play is under review.
But you can run with it.
Oh, sure you can. In fact, you can tackle the side jump to get him.
So they're going to review this, and this, I believe, again, is what they're going to review. It was not a forward pass, but a lateral. And if that was the case, then that's a free football.
And they're dependent on the angles that we're able to give them, because it's coming from TV. And what kind of angles can they tell definitively? Remember, it has to be a definitive change in what they see. And this might be the best angle, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see whether it's a forward pass or not from here.
There it is again. I don't know if you can tell from the angle. From my perception of calling the play as it happened, that's what I thought. It was a lateral. And I think when you look at this, from some of the angles, it does look like a lateral. Is it definitive proof?
I don't think it is, and I think you're going to find that they can't see on it definitively that it is a lateral, and they're going to have to go with the call on the field, which was an incomplete pass. There's just not enough angles to look at it.
You know, and there is replay in the ACC this year. A year ago when these two teams met, NC State and Chuck Amato was wishing there was replay, because late in the ball game they had a touchdown called back. One official said that McClendon's knee was down before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Here's a good angle right here.
That's
as good angle as you're going to get.
That's a great angle, and that's a lateral. That's how I would look at it. What do you think, coach, former player?
I want to see it again. Can we roll that? Let's roll that one again. That's a good angle, because the deflection from Rackley happens so quickly after it comes out of Davis's hand that it's hard to tell if it's going backward. Let's see now. Watch how quickly the ball comes out.
I mean, that ball is going, he's standing on the, I can't tell what yard line it is.
There's no question if you draw a straight line from where Davis is to where the running back is, it's going to be a lateral. There's no question about that.
Chuck Amato throwing in his 2 cents on the sideline. John Bunting also getting in the ear of the officials. But in reality, it's not Ron Cherry's call. It's the official up in the booth who's going to tell Cherry what the decision is.
Well, we got a great shot out of it. I mean, that's as good a shot as you're going to get right there. I mean, that should allow them to make a definitive call on this.
This has been a wild first quarter. North Carolina not able to run the ball at all this season. Came out smoking with the running game, but turned the ball over inside the red zone. Well, let's see what Hoggy's got to say about this one.
Hey, Bill, I'm standing down here beside Chuck Amato. I'm surprised you guys can't hear him screaming up there in the booth. What he's saying is indisputable evidence doesn't take 5 minutes. And, well, apparently it is over. Here's their decision.
After review, the play on the field is overruled. The ball was placed on the 7-yard line.
I think that's the right call.
North Carolina.
And I think it's the last angle that we were able to show. We got to that in our final replay, and here it is. This is a definitive look. Now draw a line from the quarterback to the running back. He is definitely behind the quarterback, and the throw is going towards him, so definitely a lateral.
So now another turnover, and this time North Carolina will take over at the 7-yard line. North Carolina's touchdown came on what was a bad snap to the punter deep in the end zone, and then almost a shank kick, which was returned about 10 yards for a touchdown. Barrington Edwards will line up in the tailback spot. Baker's the quarterback. Edwards, good cutback up the middle, and he pulls his way down to about the 5-yard line. LaRue Rump met him head on, but a good effort by Barrington to pull his way for a couple.
That's a good job by Rump. He's the backside linebacker away from the running play. He's going to step up in the whole backside, and he's the guy that's got to fill that spot. Does a really good job of busting across Stephen Bell, the center's block, makes the play.
2nd and goal. Edwards again, the tailback. And in motion, top of the screen, up the middle, 5-2, fumble. I think the Wolfpack have it. Oh, a big lick in the secondary. And they've got it. Another costly Tar Heel turnover. Oliver Hoyt was the guy who put the lick on Barrington Edwards, and that ball came firing out of there.
They have a stat that they list every week in the numbers. It's called forced fumbles. This is the definition of a forced fumble. Big lick from Oliver Hoyt.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this is a head coach's nightmare on both sides of the ball.
Boy, you talk about filling a hole in a linebacker spot. That's what it's about right there. That's a kid that a lot of people feel like is going to be a factor at the next level at the linebacker spot in the National Football League.
So the Wolfpack start at their own 3. North Carolina inside the red zone twice today with 2 turnovers. Handoff, and the running back isn't going anywhere. Tony Baker, no room to run there on what should be the final play of a wild and wacky first 15 minutes at Carter Finley Stadium here in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's it. First quarter in the books. Well, I think we've seen it all. We've had a game in 15 minutes. Wow. We've got 3 more quarters to play. North Carolina gets on the board first, but NC State comes back with a field goal and touchdown. There's our score after 15 minutes. North Carolina State 10, North Carolina 7. NC State fans happy so far. Their team leads after a crazy first quarter, 10-7 here at Carter Finley, and the Wolfpack. Second down, fumble! North Carolina's got it at the 2-yard line. A box snap from center to the quarterback. It's scooted forward, and the Tar Heels have it at the 2. Are you kidding me?
Phil, I don't know what's going on with Jay Davis and his center, Leroy Harris, but the play right before the end of the first quarter, he bobbled the snap on the handoff to Baker, but he was able to get it to him. This one gets blown. I guess the center gets blown up and pushes him back into his quarterback. He just can't get the ball up.
It's like Tommy Richardson finally fell on it, and there he is on the sideline. And now here you go again, another turnover, and North Carolina, the last time they forced a turnover, they gave it right back inside the 5-yard line. Here they go, first and goal from the 2. Got Peter Arnold, the freshman at tailback. Baker hands off to Arnold, trying to turn it outside right. Forget it. Great penetration by Mario Williams to lead the tacklers for NC State. Time for our Progress Energy Progress Report as we look at the first quarter stats. And you would wonder who has the great rushing game by looking at those numbers, Dave.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. The disparity between the running game, that's amazing.
Ball still at the 2, second and goal. Tight end in motion, top of the screen. Again, handoff up the middle. Peter Arnold isn't going anywhere. They stuff him right there. I'm going to tell you, John McCargo's a horse in the middle. And then Stephen Tulloch and Mario Williams help finish him off. Great penetration again up front at the defensive line for the Wolfpack.
The 3 linebackers for NC State have stepped their play up. We saw the hit from Hoyt that caused the fumble. Tulloch and Rump. Rump was the man that recovered the fumble. And here Tulloch in the middle, 50, is going to come out of this pile, driving it backwards. Those linebackers have stepped up their play.
Let's take a look at our call to the recycle red zone. Not good numbers so far. It's third and goal here for the Tar Heels. Baker will put this one in the air. Over the middle. Pollock, touchdown, North Carolina. There is a flag on the play in the end zone.
This will be interesting to see if they call this a pick play, because it's exactly what it is. Pollock comes off his tight end, kind of brushes his defender off to try to catch the football. Let's see if we get the call.
Holding 8 on the defense. By rule, the penalty is declined. The result for the play, touchdown.
So Jaworski Pollock with his second touchdown reception of the season for the Tar Heels. For Matt Baker, touchdown toss number 3. And now the extra point try. Connor Barth. And that is good. Well, this has been a game of huge mistakes by both teams. And this time, North Carolina takes advantage of a Wolfpack fumble. And they get this touchdown. Carolina by 4. There's the North Carolina Tar Heel band, and they're celebrating the latest touchdown for the Tar Heels as they take advantage of a turnover. It's a touchdown pass from Baker to Pollock. Extra point good. And here's the kickoff, high and deep, and this will not be returned. Connor Barth, nice kickoff, ball 20, and here's the last touchdown again.
Well, they got a little bunch look to the left, and Jaworski Pollock's going to come right off his tight end. And Jimmy Sutton, who was called for holding, grabbed hold of Jaworski Pollock because he felt like there was going to be a little bit of pick play there. But they go to their senior veteran to make a touchdown.
Our Aaron scoreboard, and you can see BC with a touchdown lead in Clemson, second quarter in Death Valley. Here are the losers out of the divisional title chase in that one. Jay Davis, first down, draw play, and a hole up the middle for Baker, turns it left. Nice move, but across the 25, the 26-yard line. Boy, that ball came out again. Ball came out again. North Carolina saying they have it, but the official has a mark down at the 26-yard line. Baker last week with a huge game. Personal foul. And it's going to go against the Wolfpack. Somebody made a big mistake during a stoppage and play.
Looked like big Derek Morris took a pop at somebody. Big offensive tackle.
Got the model already pointing fingers on the sideline saying, next guy that does that's out of here. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wolfpack.
They get in these rivalries, Bill, and the fever pitch is a little bit higher, and subsequently the jawing starts going, you lose your poise. Looks like as the shoving went on, Derek Morris might have popped the referee as he was pushing one of the...
Sportsmanlike conduct, number 71 on the offense. Half the distance, second down.
So it's second down, 17. Let's go back down to Mike.
I'll tell you what, I think they're getting ready to run this play. Why don't we do it in maybe after this play happens?
All right, you got it. Tony Baker lone setback for Jay Davis. Run blitz, picked up nicely. Here's the toss and a catch at the 22-yard line. Sterling Hicks on the receiving end for the Wolfpack. Let's go back down to Mike.
You guys were talking about the emotion. There was some jawing even before the game. Ron Cherry is one of the most veteran officials in the ACC, and you know, I think he's going to have a short leash on throwing that yellow flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. Both coaches know it. Both coaches have been told, and they have told their players, and this game is going to be kept under control.
There were some North Carolina players who were in the wrong place at the wrong time during warm-ups as the NC State players came out of the tunnel. And there was some shoving, pushing, nothing serious. Here's the third down call for Davis. Third and about 8. In trouble, and he's going to be sacked at the 10-yard line. Taylor gets the sack, number 33. Richardson in on the pressure as well. And the North Carolina defense with a good stop.
Well, Tommy Richardson was relentless on this rush. He was blocked initially. He gets off the block and makes the play. Jay Davis had no chance. The immediate pressure to the inside. Here comes Richardson. He makes the sack.
Brandon Tate is back deep. Good snap this time. And there's the punt by Delaney. Here's Clark. There's This is Tate who breaks the tackle, gets into North Carolina State territory. 44-yard punt and a 6-yard return. All right, Wolfpack ball when we come back, and we're back after a word from your local stations. Tar Heel football as we return to Carter Finley Stadium. Overcast skies, but I think that's a break with the weather we've had lately. The players are enjoying playing under these conditions, and for the third straight time, North Carolina starts inside Wolfpack territory, this time at the 48-yard line. Harrington Edwards trying to turn the corner, and it's a reverse, and this isn't going anywhere. Going down is Mike Mason. Trying to reverse. Mason coming around from the top of the screen to the bottom as we watched it, and it didn't go anywhere.
Now Mario Williams, he got burned on the bootleg crash too hard. This time he makes the play.
8-yard loss. Hungry for a big win? Enter at millionnuggets.com for a chance to win one of over 15,000 Chick-fil-A nugget trays and a chance at one of 13 grand prize trips to the 2005 ACC Championship game. You'll compete there for a chance to throw for $1 million. The first 300,000 to register get a coupon for a free Dr. Pepper.
You had one of those yesterday, the nugget tray.
Second down, 18. Baker came in, lost good protection, throws it out in the left flat, and nobody there. Not nearly close enough to Jesse Holley, the intended receiver.
Well, we talked about how North Carolina's offensive line in the first quarter was kind of dictating play on the front wall. Now North Carolina State's front seven has stepped up, and they're preventing Matt Baker from getting off. Baker comes into the game completing only 44% of his passes. You see 1 for 5 today, but the one was a big one, the touchdown to Dworsky Polo.
Third down, 17, North Carolina at their 45. With a triangle of receivers to the top of your screen. Baker works shotgun. Goes over the middle and once again in and out of the hands of Wallace Wright, number 29. That's his second drop today.
Well, what's going to happen from a quarterback perspective, this is, as you said, Bill, the second drop for Wallace Wright. Seven's going to quit looking for him. Matt Baker's going to stop looking for Wallace Wright. That's just what happens. It's a natural thing for a quarterback. If you're not going to catch the ball for me, I can't throw it to you. Unfortunately, he was wide open. The ball was on the money. He didn't catch it.
Woolridge will punt now as Baker heads to the sidelines, and there you see a very dejected Wallace Wright. And no one's talking to him. Not a great kick, near sideline. Hits at the 20, but takes a North Carolina bounce to the 5. Oh, and then picked up and tackled. Where at the 1? What a huge mistake. What a huge mistake by Darrell Blackman. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line. That's a 50-yard punt. He was trying to, I thought at first, Dave, try to block the gunner downfield from down on the ball. But then he just went right to him.
Well, he made the first mistake. Bill, he didn't catch the football. So the second, and then he magnified the mistake by going in and trying to cover up his first one and almost turned the ball over inside his 5.
So another tough starting spot for Chuck Amato's offense, their own 5-yard line.
And now we'll see if we can get the snap. I mean, I'm sure Chuck Amato's just hoping they can get the snap.
In triangle receivers for the Wolfpack. It's a running play to Baker. And he takes it across the line of scrimmage up to about the 8-yard line. We talked before about Baker. As you take a look at the last 4 possessions for NC State.
Their starting position has not been very good, and then their execution has been worse. Getting the snap from center, taking care of the football, those have all been negative so far for NC State. Now, the best thing about it is only down 4, try to right the ship.
2nd and 6. Davis looks far side to his tight end, and that's incomplete. Jay Williams, the intended receiver, and well covered by the Tar Heel secondary. Jacoby Watkins with the coverage for them, and now all of a sudden you're faced with a 3rd and long situation.
Well, they split their big tight end, Jay Williams, out to the outside, and Jay Davis didn't read the coverage. It was a roll coverage for Jacoby Watkins, the corner, to come up and play that short flat. And just as Jay Davis got ready to squeeze the trigger, he saw that Jacoby had that area covered. He threw the ball away.
Third down conversions, just 1 for 4, as you see. They need 7 to keep this drive going inside their 10-yard line. Very nice protection to throw, and that is behind the intended receiver. Tremaine Hall. Fans wanted a flag, but I'll be honest with you. The defender was Tommy Davis dropping into the secondary, and I think incidental contact.
I think this is pass interference. He can stay in his area. As long as he doesn't move, he has right to where he's standing. He turns right and knocks the receiver off.
Oh, they threw a block on him. Horrible. How would I see that replay? That's just a missed call by the officials.
Yeah.
That should have been pass interference. Almost blocked on the punt, but Delaney gets it away, and this is returnable for North Carolina. This is Brandon Tate. He's inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line. 41-yard punt, 6-yard return. And now let's give you the stat again for the 4th time in a row. North Carolina will start a drive inside NC State territory. Be sure to stop into your local record store to get the latest album from country music's hottest duo. Hillbilly Deluxe from Brooks and Dunn has already climbed to #1 on the country charts. Their hit single, Play Something Country, hit #1 earlier in the month. That makes number 23 #1 singles for one of the most successful duos in the history of music. Christian Tar Heels running play and turning the corner to the 40. Still moving the football inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Justin Warren, number 21, a 14-yard run.
But outstanding blocking on the edge for North Carolina. Tight end Phillips, 47, and then good blocking by Jesse Hawley, the wide receiver. Get the running back to the edge. Really good job by that edge blocking by North Carolina.
Once again in the tailback, Justin Warren. He's got the football again, trying to cut back up the middle and pulls his way to about the 25-yard line. Tulloch makes the hit for the Wolfpack. NC State came into this game coming off their victory over Eastern Kentucky last week, and it was an easy one, 54-10. They opened, of course, on national cable on ESPN with a 20-16 loss to Virginia Tech. Their next game is a week from Thursday against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech down in the Plex in Atlanta. Second and 8 from the 25, and we've got an offside here as John McCargo once again anticipating. Been pretty good at this throughout most of his first half, not that time.
Well, I talked about changing the snap count, and that's exactly what Matt Baker did there. A little hard count because McCargo had been jumping off, as you said.
First at the snap, contact, defense, number 90. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Quarterback can control how quickly that defensive line gets off the mark by changing his count, changing his rhythm up front. That time he did a good job there.
Let's go to Mike with more on running back Justin Warren.
Yeah, we talk about All-Americans, highly recruited guys. Justin Warren is a walk-on. He's a sophomore. He's looked great in practice, and the coaches have told him today he's getting his first chance in the backfield.
And so far, so good. He's got the football again, barrels his way up the middle, follows his blocking, and should have a first down. And we got a little rough stuff going on here, and this is Manny Lawson, a little upset with his shove after the play. Fans want a penalty, nothing called. Well, this should be a first down, and Justin Warren has been the workhorse on this series for the Tar Heels. Looks like they'll bring the chains out. No, they're going to say first down. 4-yard run for Justin Warren.
Manny Chacos down there working against Manny Lawson. Brian Chacos working against Manny Lawson. Lawson, a tremendous athlete, great speed, working against the academic All-ACC player Brian Chacos.
Justin Warren again trying to turn the corner. This time nothing doing. Good pursuit by DeMarco Presley, number 92. ACC football is brought to you in part by Alltel. I'm sure those with the Alltel service in the stadium here today on their cell phones calling people left and right. Are you watching this? Can you believe this?
Well, North Carolina State finally accomplished what they wanted to, is put North Carolina in a long yardage situation on second down.
Second and long, 10, short 11-yard line. Baker will work shotgun. Pollock says, let's call a timeout. And I don't know if that was John Bunting wanting that. Somebody got it. But we do have a timeout on the field. Matt Baker will talk things over. Crucial series here for the Tar Heels. They lead by 4 here in Raleigh. Today's game brought to you by the Nissan Bottom Line Model Year-End Clearance. Now at your local Nissan dealer through September 30th. Back to pass. Baker looks and throws, and it's behind Holly, the intended receiver. And for one of the few times now, Matt Baker, we talked about, you can see underneath his jersey, that flak jacket he's wearing, he got pounded by Wisconsin last week. I think there was some serious consideration that he might not be able to go this week, but he sucked it up. He's able to go out there and play. And I think that's one of the few times, Dave, I've seen him take a real good lick after throwing a ball.
Well, he's a tough kid. He stood in there. He knew he was going to take a shot, try to get the ball to Holly on that play. But he missed one practice this week, but they said the rest of the time he was in there taking the snap. So, tough kid. That shows some leadership. I mean, you can rally around that as a North Carolina player.
And he's 1 for 7 with a touchdown pass, also thrown a pick, and now he's faced with a 3rd down and a long 10. Blitz coming. There he throws over the middle. It's juggled in the air, and it is caught. Is that a catch? Yes, touchdown, North Carolina, Mike Mason. Oh, my goodness, that ball bounced in the air. Now what are they saying? Incomplete? There's a flag on the play. Flag at the 5-yard line. Mike Mason, what great concentration.
There's no play. This is delay of game.
Delay of game. Delay a game before the play.
Unbelievable. Matt Baker makes a big-time throw, takes a massive hit, and Mason finally corrals the ball, but all for naught because they didn't get the ball snapped in time. The crowd was so loud they couldn't hear the whistle for delay a game.
And Manny Lawson just leveled Baker. I remember earlier in the first quarter, the defense got called for a costly penalty after an NC State turnover. This time they've got a touchdown called back because of delayed game. So now we're back to 3rd and 15 from the 21-yard line. Baker better protection, throws up top, and it's no good. Near corner for Mike Mason, and it's 4th down.
Had a tough time blocking Manny Lawson, the defensive end. We talked about his ability to get upfield. 4-4 in the 40 at 6'5" and 240. He blows by Skip Seagraves and gets in Baker's face before Baker can pull this ball down on the money.
Connor Barth on for the field goal try. It's a 38-yarder. He is 1 of 2 in field goal attempts this year. This kick is on the way, and he's going to miss it. Wide right. So a missed opportunity by North Carolina. They have a touchdown called back because of delay of game. Then missed the 38-yard field goal, and John Bunting's going to hunt the troops, see what happened there on that one. Why they missed that field goal. Let's take a look at our Aaron scoreboard, and Clemson has come back to tie BC.
Well, as we see if Clemson's got enough in the tank after that Miami loss.
Oh, man. That
Ohio State jumping all over Iowa.
Well, come on, Iowa State beat Iowa. And Minnesota with the lead against Purdue. Tony Baker, the running back for Jay Davis, and they run a reverse coming around the near side. And up across the 25 to the 27-yard line, Darrell Blackman. And they're trying to do something, Dave, I think, to loosen up. I mean, Carolina's defense has played some pretty good football here this afternoon. And this running, the vaunted running game, we saw Baker with a couple of good efforts, but they've been pinned back so deep in their own territory the last couple of drives. The play calling is kind of limited.
Well, Mark Trestman, we talked to Mark, the offensive coordinator, earlier in the week. He said they have about 150 plays. It looks like he's going to use all of them today.
Well, trips over his own blocking back, but still able as Tony Baker to carry it for a yard or two near the 28-yard line.
Well, it's not a good sign for your running game when your center, Leroy Harris, is deposited at your feet about 3 yards into the backfield. And that's who Tony Baker had to bump into and step over to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Harris leads the offensive line, as you see him there, in what they call Raleigh rails. That's if you push a guy more than 5 yards upfield. I don't know what it's called when you're 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
He got railed there.
Big third down call for the Wolfpack. Blitz coming up the middle. Play action. Davis rolling right and throws. And it's Blackman up to the 30, slips and falls, and he's got himself a first down. That could have been a lot more if he's able to maintain his balance, but it is a third down conversion for NC State with 5:54 to go in the half, and North Carolina leading the Wolfpack 14-10.
And Darrell Blackman does a good job of disguising that he's going to be the back on the bootleg. It's going to catch this ball, but your mind's telling you to do 4 or 5 things, and your feet can't think of them in time. That's one of those ones where he made about 4 or 5 moves before he made it.
Triangle grouping receivers for Davis who work out of the shotgun. Those receivers bottom of your screen. It's going to be a quick out to Baker. Blockers in front of him. 35 puts the thumb of the ball, and it's recovered. Recovered by NC State. Larry Edwards laid the lick. And that ball was recovered by number 13.
Well, you love these young running backs from both teams, but what they'll find that's different in major college football that's not the same as in high school football is there's people coming to hit you. In major college football, you're going to take some shots, and these young guys are learning that. We saw the big hit from Hoyt from NC State to turn the ball loose. There's a big hit there that got it out of Baker's hands.
And that was Lamart Barrett who recovered that loose football. The protect ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. They almost intercepted. As Tommy Davis was coming back, it was Shelton Bynum who knocked the ball down. Got the big paw up there.
I think Bynum's been the one that's been causing the problems on the snaps for the center, Harris and Baker. This time, the big fella gets a good inside push working against the double team and throws the big paw in the air and bats it down. Good inside pressure from Shelton Bynum.
There's Tony Baker on the bicycle. Staying loose. And now we're going to have a timeout called by the Wolfpack. So as they talk things over, we'll pause here in Raleigh with North Carolina still leading by 4. All right, after the timeout, NC State trailing by 4, as you see, with 4:50 to go in the second quarter. They're faced with a third down and 8 from their 35-yard line. Jay Davis working out of the shotgun. Feeling some heat. Now they'll dump off to Baker. He was on a bike a few plays ago. And now using his legs up to the 40-yard line, but that is well short of a first down.
Good job. North Carolina comes with a zone blitz, and by that they bring more than you can block to one side and still play zone behind it. Normally, when you bring pressure after the quarterback, you play man coverage. You force the quarterback to throw it underneath. Raleigh up to make the play.
John Duraney will punt, and there's number 87, Brandon Tate. Deep for North Carolina. Let this go. Fairly short kick. Hits at the 25 and takes a Wolfpack bounce, and it'll be down around the 18-yard line. That's a 42-yard punt. Join us Saturday at high noon as Virginia invades College Park to battle Maryland. This is next week. The Cavs are riding high with an explosive offense that averages over 400 yards a game. Quarterback Marcus Hagans leads the attack as they look to punish the Maryland D. But Ralph Friedgen and the Terrapins are up for the challenge. Maryland's hungry and looking for the upset behind a smash-mouth defense that features hard-hitting linebacker D'Qwell Jackson. It's an ACC rivalry you don't want to miss. The Cavaliers battle the Terps Saturday at high noon from JP Sports. Baker on first down, running play, but we have whistles blowing, stopping that play right as it started. So that would mean somebody, I think, moved in that old line.
Big tight end John Hamlet jumped offside right before the snap.
I'll tell you what, you wanted to put together a video of the highlights of this game and showed it to a bunch of coaches in college football, would be, don't let this happen to you.
That prior to the snap, false start, 86, offense. 5 yards. We still have first down.
I mean, the reason this game, Dave, is 14-10 with the points is basically mistakes by the other teams, turnovers, bad plays.
Saw a picture of John Bunting. Patience is a virtue.
First and 15. Looked like we got a little change at the line by Matt Baker. Good protection. Upfield it goes, and Holly can't haul it in. I'll tell you something. It's a good thing he didn't, because Garland Heath was going to get ready to jack him into the sky.
Now, Holly got an inside release versus the corner, which means he went inside towards the hash marks, and he kind of limited where Baker could throw the ball. Baker would have to throw that on a line, which, like you said, Bill, would have brought Garland Heath into the equation with a big hit or an interception.
That would have been some chin music there. Second and 15 for the Tar Heels. Justin Warren back in at running back. He's got the football, but not a lot of running room. Tripped up and dropped. Oliver Hoyt, number 22, the senior from Tampa, Florida. There's a lot of Florida on this Wolfpack roster. Giacomato has not forgotten about where his roots are as far as a lot of that coaching experience at Florida State.
But it's not a bad state to pull some people out of either.
Yeah, they've got, as a matter of fact, on the two teams, they have 31 players from Florida. All right, third down. 15 to go, or 14 from 12-yard line. See how dangerous the play they want to call, and it's a safe one to drive it. Running room to the 15. And Justin Warren takes it up to about the 19-yard line before that play is finished off by Stephen Tulloch, the linebacker for NC State. Time to punt for the Wolfpack, or for North Carolina. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Atlantic Coast Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Jermaine Hall back deep. There he is, number 21 for the Wolfpack. Here's the kick, and he gets it away. Hall at the 33. Misses one. Trying to find some blockers. Good cut back at the 40. Still going to the 45-yard line. Nice return by Tremaine Hall. 48-yard punt. 12 yards on the return with 2:27 to go in the half. The Wolfpack finally have some decent field position to work from. Closed captioning for today's telecast provided by S&K, America's men's store.
We're starting to see the field flip now. We talked about how North Carolina State had been backed up the whole first half for the most part. Now, because of the way that North Carolina State's playing defense, they're flipping the field in their favor.
Best starting position of the game for the Wolfpack at the 44-yard line. Play action by Davis. He'll swing out to the tight end at the 45 to the 50, and that goes T.J. Williams, who, by the way, is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, T.J.
23 years old today. He's a kid that we talk about so often. It's mentioned where you're going to play next year at the next level, and this senior will certainly be playing the National Football League somewhere.
6'3", 253-pounder. That was a gain of 6, and now a pitch to Baker trying to turn the other side. Missed tackle there, and Baker able to throw him for a first down. Great second and third effort by Tony Baker. It looked like they had him stopped at maybe the line of scrimmage, but a missed tackle and a strong run and a North Carolina State first down.
Kid's impressive. He reminds me of 22 helps in this reminder, but he looks a lot like Emmitt Smith, a little bit bigger Emmitt Smith the way he runs. He's got a little wiggle to him. He doesn't have great speed, but he just has the ability to get those extra yards.
First and 10, NC State. Running play, Baker up the middle. Oh, almost broke that through. It's to the 40-yard line. Pick up about 5. Victor Worsley in on the tackle. We really haven't talked a lot about North Carolina's defense being without Doug Justice. Broken foot last week, a right foot, done for the season. And he was the guy that called the plays. He was the defensive quarterback, and Giacomato wanted to see who his step-up guy would be with Justice out. Block play, block from Big Hole inside the 30 to the 29. And another NC State first down. Cedric Holt finally tripped him up. Gain of 11. We're inside a minute.
Let's see how Jay Davis now manages his clock. what they call a kind of a sugar huddle, where you huddle real close to the line of scrimmage. Not quite 2 minutes, but it's in a much more sense of urgency.
Blackman now the running back, and here's Davis. Blitz throws it out far side. It's incomplete. Boy, he just got that away. It'll be 2nd down and 10. That stops the clock. 41 seconds remain. North Carolina State does have 2 timeouts left. So does North Carolina.
Darrell Blackman, the running back, was supposed to be on there on that side to block for his quarterback. He didn't get the call. Whenever you kind of hurry up, but make sure you listen. The youngster sophomore didn't get the blocking assignment. Put his quarterback, kind of hunt his quarterback out to dry there.
Hicks and Hall set out to the top of your screen to the right for Jay Davis. Blackman, the running back. Short drop the punt. Now he's got time and throws, and it's caught. At the 10-yard line, 1st and goal at the 8. John Dunlap, the sophomore, has the Wolfpack now inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. A pass play of 21 yards.
And Coach Amato sprinted all the way down to the 18-yard line to make sure they got the timeout call.
And we'll return after these messages from the University of North Carolina and NC State University.
Jay Davis gets some pretty good protection here. He pump fakes to the outside, steps up in the pocket, a nice pocket, gets the ball outside to Dunlap. I'm sure Coach Amato would like to see Dunlap turn outside and get out of bounds, but he had to burn the timeout.
1st and goal, balls at the 8-yard line for the Wolfpack. They have 1 timeout left. Play action by Davis, rolling right, looking, throwing. There he gets his tight end, and he's wrapped up and dropped at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Williams. Clock is moving, 22 seconds, 21. No big hurry here. They do have a timeout. And now they finally call a timeout. Well, there's a waste of about 9 seconds. So once again, the coaches will huddle up with their respective people on the sidelines.
Jay Davis, as a senior quarterback, in that situation, has got to make sure that if he throws the football, it's going to be the guy that can get in the end zone or get out of bounds. And T.J. Williams did not have a chance to get out of bounds, and so they lost some time there. That might have been one he'd have been better served throwing away as opposed to dumping it off to his big tight end underneath.
The talk this week here in Raleigh was, at least the people who write and cover the Wolfpack, they talked about this rivalry, but how much more pressure there seemed to be for at least these people covering the team on Chuck Amato to win this football game. This is, North Carolina trying to, John Bunting gets a contract extension, trying to work with some young kids. He's got a 5th-year, untested, really senior quarterback, Matt Baker. You got North Carolina State with a great defense to start the year and a solid running game.
Well, and I think that was where the pressure is on Coach Amato. I think the expectations of this NC State team are one that they thought maybe they could be in Jacksonville in early December playing for an ACC championship.
Well, he talked a lot about that in our meeting yesterday. He was going to be in the ACC championship game. 2nd and goal, Davis pumps. Fires out in the flat again. Caught. Spinning, fighting, down at the 4-5-yard line. That's Anthony Hill. Clock down to 10. 8. They got to hurry. I don't even know if they're going to get into the playoff. They're going to have to spike the ball. They're out of timeouts.
Can't dump the ball off underneath.
And that's it.
The ball away.
That is it. Mismanaged play clock at the end of the game, or at the end of the half here for the Wolfpack. They had a timeout, had to waste that on the last play, and then they run another play where they stay in bounds. Nobody can get to the sideline. My goodness.
I talked as a senior quarterback. He cannot throw the ball underneath.
All right, let's go down on the sidelines to Mike.
What a crazy first half, but you got to be proud of your defense there at the end of the half.
Well, I certainly am. I'm proud of everybody. It's a hell of a ball game. It's your typical NC State Carolina game. There are a lot of things happening, a lot of crazy things happening. Hopefully we'll come out and have a good second half.
What's one primary point you want to get over to this team at halftime?
I think we get down there in that red zone, we got to get some scores out of it. And that's plagued us in the first 2 games. We've got to get rid of it in the second half. We get down inside that 20, we got to score.
All right, Coach, let's you go to the locker room. That's John Bunting, whose Tar Heels on the road here at Carter Finley Stadium on top of North Carolina State 14-10. It has been one crazy first half. We'll be back to Raleigh in just a moment.
ACC football is brought to you by GMC, by Advance Auto Parts, by Polaris ATV, by Chick-fil-A, by Red Roof Inn, and by Citgo. Geico Direct presents this ACC moment. The ACC began courting Boston College back in 2003 when they decided to expand to 12 teams. Well, last Saturday night signified the beginning of the new ACC as Boston College hosted Florida State for its first ever home game. ACC Commissioner John Swafford joined both Florida State and Boston College athletic directors to flip a commemorative coin to celebrate the occasion. And this ACC moment was presented by Geico Direct.
Let's play some football.
And done. If you guys haven't seen the beginning of our broadcast, you need to watch it next week at high noon and hear Brooks and Dunn do the remake of their tune, Play Something Country, and they make a tune called Let's Play Some Football, and which we're ready to do here in the second half. By the way, that's on their new CD, Hillbilly Deluxe, which is available in a lot of stores. It's the #1 selling CD around. And I got to tell you, Bill and Dave, the cut I like on that, I was telling this to our producer, Beverly Rumley, today, my heart is not a hotel. Figure that out, ponder on that as you guys talk about the second half and what happened in the first.
Well, where do we begin with what happened in the first half? I mean, this was a clinic on don't let this happen to you, Dave. So many mistakes, turnovers, bad snaps, and at the end of the half, bad play calling by the Wolfpack. They get nothing when they're in the red zone. I mean, the list started early on in this game, and hey, in all honesty, if North Carolina is any better in the red zone, this could be a big difference at halftime.
It really could be, and I think that when you start looking at what happened in the football game, some of it was things that the other team did, but a lot of it was self-induced. Bad snaps, one for each squad, and then throwing the ball behind line, and then lackadaisically not getting on it. North Carolina recovers this one. Now here's one that was induced. That was a big hit from Hoyt, but for the most part, fumbled snap at center. Most of it has been self-induced, self-inflicted wounds.
And of course, there's our play at the end of the half. NC State is out of timeouts, driving, trying to get some points on the board. They throw a completion, yet time runs out. They can't get off another play. Let's take a look now at the Hyundai halftime stats. And Dave, if you'd have told me these rushing numbers were going to be posted before the game, I thought it would have been reversed because North Carolina was not running well coming into this game, and that's how they've been able to control the ball.
Well, and I think that if you told Coach Bunting that you'd have 3 yards passing at halftime, he probably would have said, well, we'll be down 35-0 then. I mean, it's incredible. They've run the football extremely well, but North Carolina State has not allowed them to throw the ball.
All right, so now let's go to the Toyota keys to the game. Are they still what they were when this thing started?
I think they have to be. I think North Carolina got some of their damage done by running the football. They're going to have to get back to doing that. Baker's only completed one pass, so you got to figure they're going to line up on and take care of the ball throwing or running it. But also eliminate the mistakes. That has not been done. So the team that does that maybe has a chance to win this one.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody knows. Even the guys in the press box were talking about who knows what's going to happen here in the second half of this ball game. All right, when we come back, we'll have the kickoff to start the second half. North Carolina State deferred in the first half, so they'll get it to start quarter number 3.
ACC football is being brought to you by Sonic Drive-In, by Progress Energy, by Citgo, by Geico, by Bell South, by Toyota, and by BB&T.
Overcast skies, but I think some heated locker rooms on both sides as North Carolina holding on to a 4-point halftime lead over NC State. We heard from John Bunting at the end of the first half. Mike Hogwood had a chance to talk with NC State's Chuck Amato.
Chuck, what'd you tell the guys in the locker room?
I tell the guys, I mean, that's as sloppy a football as, if I was watching this game, I'd turn it off. I go watch some other game. That's sloppy, and we put ourselves in such bad position. They got 14 points on the board on a 12-yard block punt and a 3-yard fumble recovery. We've taken their best shot. Now we got to go out and give them our best shot.
Anything specific that you're going to do different here in the second half?
No, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot with fumbles and penalties. It's that simple. We're too good to be doing that to ourselves.
All right, let's chuck them out of Bill.
Thanks, Mike. And Davey's right. You know, the mistakes, and he talked about this with us yesterday. I said, how's this game going to play out for you? And he said, it was all about mistakes. My kids don't make them, cut down on the penalties, turnovers, we'll win the game. And it's been hardly that so far through 30 minutes.
Well, that was our key for North Carolina State, was to eliminate the mistakes. And they, like he said, they've all been self-inflicted.
John Bunning, of course, he's got the lead, although he told us that the red zone opportunities just killing them. They had 4 shots in the red zone and scored once.
Oh, Matt Baker's 1 for 9 in the first half throwing the ball with an interception. The one throw was a touchdown.
Here's the kickoff. Second half is underway. And here's Blackman for the Wolfpack. It's to McKinney. Room to run. Can the kicker make a play on him? No. Blackman down the sideline. A foot race there. He stays in bounds and finally out of bounds. Down around the 26-yard line of the Tar Heels. 73-yard kickoff return.
Well, that's how you set the tone, Bill. Your special teams, and I'm sure Chuck Amato told his special teams, go out and set the tone. And they do. They do a great block from Rump. Rump springs Blackman down the sideline. A great job of making the kicker miss. He's bumped out of bounds.
Oh, the Wolfpack with great starting position. The 26 of North Carolina. Tony Baker's the lone running back for Jay Davis. And it's Baker, big hole. Nice cutback move to the left, and he gets about 6 yards to the 20-yard line. And once again, we're going to get a look at this kickoff.
So often, I remember hearing as a player, let's go out and set the tone with the very first play. And the second half, so often, the first 5 minutes is very key. And that's what kind of pumps your team up. That's got to get an adrenaline push for your ball club to see the youngster, the sophomore, come out with a big return.
Second down, 4 yards to go for the Wolfpack. That's Phil in motion to the bottom of your screen. Davis looking that way. No, he's going to scramble and run and dive to the 20-yard line. Might have even been a busted play there as Davis holds on to the football. Brian Rackley makes the tackle for North Carolina.
Jay Davis saw a hole open up on the right side, and the defenders are so quick for both these football teams. Rackley rushing at the defensive end spot just pulls back in and makes the play on Davis for a short gain.
Here's big third down for North Carolina State. You know, you get the big kickoff return. You're deep in North Carolina territory, and you don't want to go 3 and out. Third down and 4 yards to go, and now they're going to burn a timeout. Wow. Well, I guess better to burn a timeout than running a bad play.
Well, you remember what happened at the end of the first half. Jay Davis had a tough time making some decisions, and then here he has a tough time getting them all lined up.
All right, our other JP game of the week is Clemson and BC, and the
second down and goal.
Over here.
Ryan calls his own number. He may be in. Both ends in tight. Double wing.
And there's Whitehurst.
Whitehurst to carry it in. Touchdown, Clemson.
And that is still 10-10. Death Valley, Clemson and BC both trying to recover from emotional losses last week. Florida State gave BC all they could handle, though talking to the BC folks this week, they thought if their starting quarterback hadn't gotten hurt in the second half, they would have won that game. And then, of course, if you missed the finish of Clemson in Miami, what a classic that was.
There's Mark Tressman, the offensive coordinator for NC State. Last 21 years has been in the National Football League. Talk to Mark. What is the most difficult thing to transition from pro football to college. He said the communication during the game with the quarterback. Remember, NFL quarterbacks have the headset where you can talk to the quarterback. He can talk to the quarterback.
All right, ready to go on 3rd and 4 from the 20 of North Carolina. With time and throws, and it's caught, and it's hard. Breaking the tackle at the 10. He cuts left at the 5, and he's down at the 1-yard line. Great run after the catch by Tremaine Hall. Good protection as well for Jay Davis. A 19-yard hookup on 3rd down, and it's 1st and goal.
Well, the first thing he said, Bill, was protection. What they did is they went a solid protection, just a 2-man route to the left side. NC State's left side ran a guy in the flat. Tremaine Hall hooked up to the inside, well-thrown ball.
And let's take a look at our call to recycle red zone. Camaro not happy with those numbers either. 1st and goal from just outside the 1-yard line for the Wolfpack. Left side, easy touchdown for Tony Baker. 2-yard line, and the Wolfpack have regained the lead.
Well, Chuck Amato, no matter what happens in this game, will talk about how his special teams set the tone in the second half. And then Jay Davis, Tremaine Hall, and this guy, Tony Baker, finished the story on this drive.
And they do take advantage of a wonderful kickoff return to start the half. That 73-yarder set him up. Extra point is good. So once again, a bird's eye view of this touchdown run by Tony Baker. Got to call him touchdown Tony now. He's got so many. We'll be back in a minute. North Carolina State has just regained the lead over the Tar Heels of North Carolina. And there's your scoring drive. Both plays 26 yards, all set up by Blackman's huge 73-yard kickoff return to start second half. Tate will take this deep in the end zone, take a knee, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line for the Tar Heels. And here comes Matt Baker for his second half of work, a fairly forgettable throwing one in the first half. There you see his numbers, 1 of 9 for just 3 yards. He did have the touchdown pass to Jaworski-Pola.
Let's not forget that he had 2 key balls dropped, too. He had 2 throws that would have been first downs, that he well-thrown balls that were dropped. So he's been a victim to a certain extent of his wide receivers as well.
Barrington Edwards will be the tailback now on first down. Receivers top and bottom of your screen. Play action. Baker's in trouble, and he's going down at the 11-yard line. Manny Lawson coming around the corner, and a sack, and a huge loss.
Well, usually as an offense, if you want to throw the ball and you've had a tough time protecting your passer, you want to go to play action, because it's usually your more solid play action. But they cannot get Manny Lawson blocked. In fact, nobody even touched him. He came right around the edge, and your quarterback's not going to get off if you can't block the edge guys.
Lawson's second sack of the year. Second and long, North Carolina. Running play, Barrington Edwards, forget it, there's Lawson again. They ran right at him. He and Mario Presley said nothing doing on that side, and now this defensive line, which was victimized by North Carolina in the first half with some big runs, playing a little bit better now.
Manny Lawson plays off the block right there of Carlton Gray and gets in on the tackle. They're having a tough time blocking this front four.
3rd and forever here from the 10. 3rd down 20, Tar Heels. This top defense, short blitz, they don't come. And they get the sack anyway. This time it's Mario Williams. The bookend defensive ends, each with a sack. On this drive, the first time the defense has been on the field here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they are as good as advertised to start the second half. Obviously challenged by Chuck Amato. Mario Williams, they ran a little stunt, which is called, it's an ET stunt. Tackle to the inside, or the outside, into the inside, and Mario Williams is the benefactor.
Woodward's a punt deep in his own end zone. They're coming after it, and they got it away. Low floater, and they say, Tremaine Hall says, let it hit there, and it does. And this is going to be a great opportunity now for the Wolfpack. Just a 36-yard punt. And NC State will start at the North Carolina 39-yard line. So all of a sudden, even after the halftime, with North Carolina making a big stop defensively at the end of the first half, leading by 4, the Wolfpack have answered with a big kickoff return. And then finally, Tony Baker stuck it in the end zone. He's been good all day.
Well, all you can say about this guy is that he scores touchdowns. He's got 2 more today. He had 2 against Eastern Kentucky last week. And on the last drive, he sealed one there.
Davis wants to pass, play action, deep downfield for its tight end. He's got it. It's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown Wolfpack to T.J. Williams. Happy birthday. 39 yards. Take the reverse. And somehow, some way, the tight end got loose in the secondary.
Well, we saw the package on Tony Baker. A little play fake to Baker, and the defensive backs got caught peeking to the inside. He get caught up on play action, and the big tight end slipped in behind. We see his speed and athleticism to catch the shot over the shoulder for the touchdown.
Durante on to try the extra point. Right down the middle. And played 5 minutes of the third quarter, and North Carolina State has put 2 touchdowns on the board. When we come back, we'll see if the Tar Heels can answer. It's a 10-point Wolfpack lead.
Here's the beauty of having a running game that's being effective. Watch the play action fake. Watch the defensive backs right there looking to the backfield. By that time, the big tight end, T.J. Williams, is broken clean. He throws the hand up, says, hey, get it to me. I'm going to get in the zone for you, and he does.
A huge kickoff by Durante, and another touchback on his kickoffs. And North Carolina will start at their own 20-yard line. And now here you go, Dave. You've got to answer in some way, shape, or form here. You've had an avalanche hit you at the start of the third quarter.
I think what North Carolina's going to have to do now is they're going to have to try to find a quick passing attack. They're having a tough time blocking these guys up front, mainly Lawson and Williams off the edge. So some quick screens to the outside, because if you look at the numbers, Barrington Edwards had 95 yards in the first quarter, -1 since then. They shored up against the run game, got to spread the field a little bit, throw it to the edges.
Barrington Edwards is the tailback. He's got the football, trying to turn it outside, and it's finally brought down. Manny Lawson again leading the charge. Short gain on the play. There's your scoring drive. And again, this is after the short field. Yeah. And of course, that was the punt out of the end zone. And they took advantage of it.
Well, North Carolina State has taken advantage of the short field twice already, Bill, in the second half.
Second down, 7. Looks like a blitz is coming. Stun up the middle, throw to the middle. Pollock is bumped on the play. No flag. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for him around the 30-yard line.
Now, they tried to get Jaworski Pollock is lined up in the slot. That means he's in between the tackle and the outside receiver. He's just going to run the slant to the inside. And you see Garland Heath is just sitting on the play. Now, Mike Mason runs up the field to the outside, but he was well covered as well. So, good job by the secondary. NC State's going to a 6 defensive back package to take care of this 5 receiver package in North Carolina.
Third down. 8 yards to go, first down. Better protection over the middle and a catch. Up at the 35-yard line. That'll be a first down to Mike Mason.
Well, you said the key thing there, Bill, better protection. That time, whenever you give a quarterback that has the ability to throw the ball down the field, protection, he's going to find somebody open. And this job, Mike Mason, see him gear it down. See, he didn't run right straight through there on the fly. He found a hole in the zone and just geared it down. But his quarterback had time. He got time. He threw the ball. They got a chance to move it if they can protect Baker.
11 yards on the pass play to the junior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Oh, Baker, I think he was looking for the snap. Now he throws. There's another catch. And a quick tackle out in the left flat. Pollock makes the reception there. Good coverage by Miguel Scott. And a short gain up to the 30. 39-yard line. So pick up about 5 on the play.
But a nice first down call by Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator for Carolina. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hands quickly. Give him some quick throws so he can get some kind of rhythm and give the offensive line some confidence.
Again, the shotgun formation for Baker. Over the middle it goes. Pollock's got it at the 50. In the North Carolina State territory, 40. And he carries 3 tacklers all the way down to the 31-yard line. 30 yards on the hookup. Scott and Tulloch finally make the tackle, but a big play over the middle.
Well, all North Carolina's trying to do is they're trying to get the ball out of their quarterback's hands in a hurry. And why not find Jaworski Pollock? He does such a good job, like you said, Bill, in the inside area, that slot area. Make people miss, find an open area, present your numbers to the quarterback, and give him a throwing lane, and he's done that.
Baker sizing things up for the Tar Heels. They're in Wolfpack territory. And he rolls it near side, and a completion to his tight end, Justin Phillips, and Phillips all the way down the sideline. He's got another first down. They'll mark him out at the Wolfpack 13.
Well, this has been Gary Tranquil's best series of calling plays so far today for North Carolina because he's mixing things up dramatically. This time he's anticipating North Carolina State to come with pressure. He moves his quarterback out of the pocket and gets him an easy throw to the outside for a first down.
That was an 18-yard play, and there's your quick stats. The Tar Heels, most of that running came in the first quarter. And this drive all set up by the pass. First and 10 from the 13. Tar Heels in the red zone. Draw play. Edwards up the middle. 10. Still going 5. All the way down to the 2-yard line. Barrington Edwards. Good call again there, Dave.
It's amazing how when the passing game starts getting cranked up and you spread the field, now defenders start watching, okay, he's throwing the ball, and now all of a sudden a running play slips there. Barrington Edwards slipped through the middle. This is just a simple draw play back to the inside. But because they've been successful throwing it, it spread that defense out a little bit. Barrington Edwards found some running room.
First down goal, North Carolina. You see Edwards is over the century mark in rushing yards so far this afternoon. They're at the Wolfpack 2. High formation. Here's Edwards straight ahead trying to dive over the top, and there's nothing happening there. LaRue Rump led the charge, number 29 for NC State.
When you go to your goal line package, which North Carolina has, that means 3 tight ends, 2 backs in tight. This is just a mano-a-mano type situation, and North Carolina won that time. North Carolina State won, I apologize.
The big horses up front. Second and goal from the 2. Woods again trying to follow his blockers outside. Good cutback move to the right and touchdown North Carolina. 2 yards for Barrington Edwards. And what a huge drive for North Carolina after they were steamrolled in the first few minutes of this third quarter. NC State with a couple of quick touchdowns, but Dave, Tar Heels have answered.
They really did, and that was a great series of downs for both Baker and Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator. Real good job of mixing things up, especially on that last play to run the football.
Bart's extra point attempt, it is good. Whew. Well, you can't leave us, folks. You just can't. So a big answer by North Carolina on this touchdown run by Barrington Edwards. We're back after a word from your local stations. ACC football is brought to you in part by Toyota. Barrington Edwards cracks it over from 2 yards out. His first career rushing TD. Here's the kickoff and deep into the end zone again. We haven't had a lot of run backs. When they've been run back, they've been pretty exciting. Dave, another look at the score.
I want you to watch Kyle Ralph, the right tackle. He's on the right side of your screen. See him pull out. He's going to get in front of Barrington Edwards, and Barrington's going to follow the big fella into the end zone. That's called paving the way, the big guy.
And we have a flag back on the other side of the field where the ball was kicked off around the 40-yard line. And we might be doing this again.
Offside. 32 on the kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll have a re-kick.
So here you know, again, it's just the little mental mistakes that come back to haunt you. Now, If you're a Tar Heel fan, you hope their guys can cover this kick, but you're going to give this crew another shot at running one back. And there you see Edwards now 110 yards. And that first career touchdown, and he's smiling about that. Remember your first career touchdown pass?
Yes, I do.
When and where?
College or pro?
Oh, college.
Oh, okay.
I want college. We're doing a college game, so.
College. My first college touchdown pass was against the University of Iowa.
Is that right?
Iowa State, of course, that was our rival, so big one.
Now, 7th penalty, 54 yards against North Carolina here this afternoon. Well, that touchdown drive took a little starch out of this crowd, too. Wolfpack had come out smoking to start the third quarter. Back-to-back scores, but North Carolina answers. Here's the kickoff. This is returnable for Darrell Blackman, starting at his 2. Well, make the reverse. Blackman trying to turn the corner on a nice solo tackle up around the 17-yard line. Jay Walker makes the stop for the Tar Heels. 15 yards on the return. There's the scoring drive.
And that's a big-time drive right there. I thought that North Carolina looked like a well-oiled offensive unit in that drive. They mixed things up, short passing, moved the quarterback, ran the ball a couple times late in the drive, but a good job of Gary Tranquil getting his quarterback in a rhythm throwing the ball.
Wolfpack start at the 17 in their own territory. Play action fake to Baker. Down the middle it goes, and a catch. Upfield is Sterling Hicks to the 40. Hicks still going to the 48-yard line. Victor Worsley finally hauled him down. But a good hookup on first down. 30-yard pass play.
NC State's going to change the tempo of the game now. Going to go to a little bit of a no-huddle, but play action fake again draws the linebackers up. And Hicks is in behind with a big gainer. I like NC State changing the tempo here offensively, going to a little bit more of a sense of urgency on offense.
It's a pitch to Tony Baker, trying to turn it outside, jumps over a tackler, turns the corner, and up to about the 49-yard line. He jumped over T.J. Williams, who was trying to throw a block. Vote for the toughest play of the week and a chance to win a brand new Polaris ATV in the Polaris Tough Play of the Week contest. Visit PolarisToughPlays.com and watch clips of this week's toughest plays. Vote for your favorite and enter to win. Four yards on that running play by Tony Baker. 2nd and 6 for the Wolfpack. That's Baker in motion, bottom of your screen. Davis is going to throw, and it's incomplete. Off the outstretched arms of Lamar Barrett and floated to the turf, incomplete.
Well, this is the epitome of the West Coast offense. What they try to do is stretch a defense sideline to sideline, motion Tony Baker outside the wide receiver to stretch the defense and create a hole for Barrett to get in. But Davis was just too tall with the throw.
Well, the Wolfpack faced with 3rd and long here. 3rd down, 8 yards to go from just shy of the 50-yard line. Tar Heels showing 5-man rush. They do come with 5. And they get the sack around the corner. Tommy Davis, the senior. 4th sack of Jay Davis this afternoon.
Tommy Davis with his speed getting upfield and around the corner. The impressive thing was the sophomore running back Blackman steps up and picks up his man right there. But Davis is blowing off the edge on the other side. They did not get him blocked. He's there for the sack.
Brandon Tate awaits the punt. And there it is. This is returnable. That's a hit in front of him. Now one bounce takes it. And he's not going anywhere. Lucky enough to hold on to the football down around the 18-yard line. 37-yard punt for John Delaney. You talked to Chuck Amato about special teams, and we've seen some miscues on both sides, but and we'll get to this in a second. First, we're going to give you the we had our All-Tell Challenge. During the first half, we asked this All-Tell Text-to-Win ACC Trivia Challenge. And which player was UNC's captain on the victorious 92 Peach Bowl team? And the answer is Tommy Thigpen. And here is Tommy Back then and now. Tune in next week for your chance to play Text to Win ACC Trivia Challenge presented by Altel. Running play on first down. Barrington Edwards is wrapped up and dropped. Got a yard or two off right tackle. Oliver Hoyt brings him down. Well, the point I was making is Chuck Amato uses first-teamers on special teams.
Yeah, he talked about how it's a third of the game, so it's an important part of the game. So why not play my best people in that situation? Why not play my starters in that? Because that might be the play that turns the tide in a football game. He believes in having his best people on the field in special teams.
And you don't see a lot of that in the National Football League because of the numbers, usually second-teamers. And if you're Mike Martz of the Rams, you don't want to play anybody on special teams. Shotgun formation for Baker. Pumps, fires, and it's caught. Diving catch up at the 37-yard line by Mike Mason. I thought he stepped out of bounds for a second.
I think Hudson forces him out the corner, which is going to allow him to come back in. Once he establishes himself back in, he can make the play, contrary to the National Football League rule.
Yeah, it looked like he was definitely out of bounds and then came back in.
Well, they had a little pump fake on. They were going to a little hitch and go to the outside. So they're saying he was forced out by Hudson. He comes back in and makes the catch. Now, the difference is in the NFL, if you get pushed out, it doesn't matter if you get pushed out. You cannot be the first person to come back and touch the ball.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers fans saw that twice in the same game in New Orleans, against New Orleans a couple of weeks ago. Receivers went outside, came back in and made catches for touchdowns. Called back. First and 10 now after that completion for the Tar Heels. Draw play, Barrington Edwards trying to find a hole up the middle. Good defensive play. Very nice job by DeMario Presley, because I really think if he doesn't make the tackle, that's a huge play.
I would agree with you. I think that Barrington Edwards also missed maybe a crack to the right, but he could have hit it for another big gainer. As we continue to look at other games around the league, and Boston College hanging in there in Death Valley against Clemson. That's a tough place to play right there.
Well, it's tough, and even these two teams lose, they're pretty much out of any divisional title hopes, and you still got a lot of the season to play. Baker with time again over the middle, and that ball is caught. This is Mike Mason, breaks free along the far sideline, and he takes the ball all the way into NC State territory at the 30-29 flag on the play. There's going to be a late hit on Garland Heath, who took a shot at the receiver well out of bounds. 33-yard pass play. And all of a sudden, Mike Mason is making some plays for the Tar Heels.
Well, you see why this is Mason is at the top of your screen, breaks inside, and again, a real good job of sitting it down because of the defender to the inside. And you see why they're so excited about this receiver corps, because their ability to run after the catch. And clearly, the receiver is on the right when Garland Heath takes the shot.
15 yards. First down.
So not only do they get the big play, but you tack on 15 yards to boot.
Well, we've seen Mike Mason twice here in this half do a real good job of reading coverage and sitting it down for his quarterback. And then he does the next best thing is he catches the ball when it's thrown to him and makes a play.
First down, Edwards, left side, big hole there. Nice cutback, and he's down at the 10-yard line. J.J. Jones, coming up from the strong safety position, makes the tackle for North Carolina State. That's a pickup of 6.
Well, we see how difficult it makes it on a defense when you start throwing the ball successfully. Now, all of a sudden, the run game becomes a factor again. The difficulty to defend both when both are working. Chuck Amato's defensive unit having a tough time slowing down this North Carolina offense now.
Shotgun on second and 6 from the 10-yard line. And Baker's going to roll near side and throw, and it's caught at the 5, and diving towards the pylon. It's a touchdown for John Hamlin. The tight end from Lynchburg, Virginia. 10-yard pass play, and just like that, North Carolina has regained the lead.
Once again, it's Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina, anticipating pressure, moves his quarterback, and he makes a good throw to the tight end for a touchdown.
Connor Barth will add the extra point. It is good. Well, we've had 2 touchdowns apiece in the third quarter. And you know what? Everybody in the press box is right at halftime.
good job of pinning the defenders to the inside. Nobody picks up Hamlet to the outside. Good job of banging it in the end zone at the end. See, the pressure comes to the inside, so move your quarterback away from it. Quick, easy throw to the tight end in the flat. And a good job by Holly blocking out there just enough to allow his tight end to get in the end zone.
Kudos all around for the big tight end getting his touchdown. Time to register for the Bell South Pick for $1 Million contest. This year the prize is bigger. One lucky fan will have the chance to win $1 million and an extreme bundle from Bell South. Your chance to win, log on to bellsouthsports.com. Oh, what a game of emotion. There's your scoring drive. And another quick one, but a long one. These are two long scoring drives for North Carolina's offense, and much needed. If you're just tuning in, North Carolina was leading 14-10 at the half. The Wolfpack answered with two quick scores here in the early moments of the third quarter. But then the Tar Heels come right back. Two very good offensive drives, and all of a sudden, they're up by 4.
Well, you can't say enough about, we talked about Coach Amato getting on his team at halftime. They respond with 2 scores. Can't say enough about Coach Bunting's crew to have the character to hang in there on the road, come back and put 2 scores on the board themselves.
High end over end, and again, this is not going to be returnable. Both kickers doing a very nice job today, kicking the balls deep. And the Wolfpack will take over at their 20-yard line. Well, let's take a look at the standings. And this is the Atlantic Division. Of course, you've got the Coastal, which is where North Carolina is, but there you see NC State. They've already got the conference loss to Virginia Tech. If they would lose one more game, and Chuck Amato knows this, 2 wins, you're not going to win a division, my friends. Now with Florida State, Clemson, and BC all up there, and then, of course, we'll talk about Clemson and BC, but this is a huge game.
You fall 2 full games behind Florida State. You can't do that.
Tony Bell, oh man, met at the line of scrimmage, actually behind the line. Tommy Richardson was there, and so was Guy, number 74.
Well, North Carolina answered NC State here in the second half. Now, the ebb and flow of a game, it's up to NC State's offense to now take up the challenge and try to move the football.
Loss of 1 on that play. They've done a little bit better job on Tony Baker here in the recent carries for him, and now we're going to see Jay Davis work shotgun formation. And we've got North Carolina calling a timeout. And there might have been a little miscommunication on who was supposed to be where on the field for them. Of course, next week you've got this one, our game of the week. The Terps of Maryland. And they've been struggling against Virginia.
Hey, that kid right there, Higgins, he can make some plays for you. They're sitting at 2-0 on the season, and the Ralph region always has a defense that's willing to hit you in the mouth. That'll be a nice matchup next week at noon.
That's noon, Virginia, Maryland, next Saturday, right here on JP Sports. John Bunting got a contract extension last year, got his team to a bowl game. He's in his 5th year at his alma mater. And he's enjoying what he's seeing right now as his team has come back after taking a couple of haymakers from NC State at the early moments of the third quarter. They've answered.
You got to talk about NC State's early season schedule, too. I think they're number 4 in the nation in some publications. It's the toughest schedule, 4th toughest schedule in the NCAA. They start off
with North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina, I mean. Yeah. And you start off with Georgia Tech and Wisconsin, and now you got to play NC State. That's pretty tough.
That does give you easier. Turn in the corner. Nice run for Darrell Blackman. And now the fans want a late hit over there on that side of the field. I don't see any. Oh, Hankey's laying out there. A good gain on first down up to the 25-yard line. Took a little 4.
Toss play to Blackman to the outside. Gets a real good block on the edge. That's a clean hit. He was inside. Inside the white stripe.
That's a 3rd down already on this drive. Davis looking right, still looking right. Now scrambling that side, feeling some heat, trying to get the first down, but he's turned around and spun and dropped. Person, the left corner, chased him down, And Balmer finishes him off, and we also have a flag down. Flag is down on the near side of the field. That was away from where that play went. Will judge telling Ron Cherry what the call is. This would be a good stop for the Tar Heel defense.
It'll be interesting to see if this is not an illegal contact or holding on one of the receivers.
Holding, doing a run with an eligible receiver. Continue our penalty.
Of course, defensive holding is an automatic first down.
Holding on the defense against an eligible receiver. We're going to go 10 yards, automatic first down.
Well, we talk about big penalties. This is a big one. Right there, Cedric Holt holding on Tremaine Hall.
It is not an automatic first down.
Good clarification, but it was only 5 yards, 3rd and 5, so a 10-yard penalty gives you a first down.
At the 34. Fresh set of downs for the Wolfpack. Again, now he's in trouble. Look out. And down he goes. Balmer with the sack. That's 5 for North Carolina's defense this afternoon.
North Carolina's doing a good job in their secondary against some of these crossing routes. They're bumping off the receivers, and so Jay Davis is having a tough time squeezing the trigger on it. And subsequently, he's holding onto the ball a little bit too long, allowing this Carolina rush to get to him.
1:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and long. The screen out to the right side to Blackman. Cuts inside, trying to follow his blockers, breaks the tackle, and then squirms upfield to about the 37-yard line. Pick up 7. Tommy Richardson on the tackle for North Carolina. Into our final minute in a wild ball game, and it certainly continued here in the 3rd quarter. Each team with 2 touchdowns in this period. So the score, the differential, the same as it was at half right now. North Carolina, John Bunning's team up by 4. And here again, Dave, 3rd and long, 3rd and about 8 yards to go.
Well, they got half of what they had on 2nd down. That's all Mark Trestman wanted. Now 3rd and 7.
And we got flags flying on the snap. And that, of course, means usually the offense flinched, stopping the play.
Cross and snap. False start. Offense, number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty.
8th penalty against the Wolfpack today. Well, these were 2 of the most penalized teams in the nation. They've continued that trend. When those stats come out again this next week,
they have not disappointed.
No.
Well, some of it's just been playing hard, and they're playing a little bit too long past the whistle, and some of it's we've talked about self-inflicted.
Davis has hit 10 of his last 11 passes. Here's number 12's attempt, and that's incomplete off the outstretched arms of T.J. Williams. Got some rough stuff going on back at the line of scrimmage, but nothing serious. No flags. That's the 3rd down and long. It doesn't work, and it's 4th down, and the Tar Heel defense holds. Punting unit coming on for the Wolfpack.
North Carolina State was not able to do what you'd like to do when you get the ball deep in your own end, is flip the field. You fall on their punter, John Deraney, to flip the field.
Whoa, and a high snap again. He was able to come down with it. It's a low liner on the kick. Brandon Tate on a hop at his 30. Up the middle of the field, 40. Still going to the 50. He's going to try and turn the near corner. How much speed does he have? Enough to get to the 30-yard line of the Wolfpack. 39-yard return. Let's make it 40. And the kicker has to knock him down. Probably safe a touchdown run. All right. We'll go to the 4th quarter. It's a wild and woolly one with North Carolina leading NC State 28-24.
Well, Chuck Amato was upset after the punt return. He swore up and down that Tate waved his arm, signal fair catch. You watch the body language. That's not a fair catch signal. That's just the body moving forward to make the catch.
So as we start the fourth quarter and flip sides, Tar Heels 1st and 10 at the 30, and play action by Baker. Throws downfield, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Mike Mason. And pretty good coverage in the secondary by Marcus Hudson.
Good pressure by Manny Lawson. Doesn't give Baker a chance to look anywhere other than where he threw the ball to Mike Mason. Mason was covered extremely well out there on the corner by Marcus Hudson. Hudson locked on to Mason, and there was really no place for Baker to throw the ball, but Manny Lawson's pressure made him throw it right away.
2nd down and 10 for the Tar Heels at the Wolfpack 30. Quick out to Pollock. A good sidestep move along the sideline and then out of bounds. I'll mark him out at the 23-yard line. So he made a couple of extra yards with that move, and that sets up a 3rd and 3.
I'll tell you, if I'm throwing the ball, that's a guy I try to get the ball to a little bit more. Jaworski Pollock has a great feel in the slot of getting the ball and making something happen.
Our stats through 3 quarters presented by Red Roof Inn. Rushing yards certainly affected by the sacks. The 5 handed out by the North Carolina defense today. 3rd and 3 shotgun. Little option right up the middle to Pollock and read beautifully. Great defensive play by Stephen Tulloch. So that sets up 4th down.
That's an outstanding play by Tulloch because this play is set up. They spread the field and run the shovel pass to the inside to Pollock, and Tulloch stays at home. He doesn't make that play, we may still be talking about Jaworski running in the end zone.
What are we here, about 41, 42 yards. 41-yarder. Connor Barth's kick is on the way, and it is hit the left upright, no good. That's 2 he's missed. He was wide right earlier in the game. That time, that ball trying to hang in that left upright, and it hit it. And we'll get a look at it again.
Well, you can tell by how fast the ball's spinning that he didn't hit the ball very well. Obviously, his accuracy was off, but whenever the ball's spinning at a rapid rate, it means he caught it a little fat, like one of your wedge shots, huh, Bill?
Yes. Some of my putts are like that, too. If I could only putt. Well, there's Connor Barth on the sideline, just shaking his head. He's been a very consistent kicker for North Carolina. Well, 1 wide right, 1 upright hit today. 1st and 10 at the 25. They're going to blow the play dead. Somebody must have moved.
Run through the snap. False start. 62 offense. It's a 5-yard play.
We're going to watch this last punt here. This was the big return by Brandon Tate, and here's the punter and kicker Duraney after him, and I guess he's banged up, eh, Mike?
Bill, he is. They've really been stretching him out over here on the sidelines and trying to get his back loose. It's his back that bothers him. He's an important part of this team. He punts and kicks field goals.
Yeah, and kickoffs, most of them are usually touchbacks. 1st and 15. Davis will swing out to the near sideline. Tremaine Hall is tripped up and dropped at the 21-yard line. Cedric Holt with a very nice solo tackle for North Carolina.
Good discipline up front and in the secondary by North Carolina. This is a nice wrinkle by Mark Tressman. He brings Tremaine Hall in motion around the formation, tries to throw the ball in the flat, get your playmaker the ball, but North Carolina stays at home and makes the tackle.
You mentioned Tressman not being able to communicate with his quarterback, and he said it's really interesting here. These are pros getting a lot of money, and I get to talk to them. Here's young college guys you want to teach. I can't talk to them. Let's see what his call is here. Play action. Nobody open, but he's got some time. He's going to throw it away. They'll set up a 3rd and long for the Wolfpack, and now everything is magnified here in the 4th quarter. You got 13:20 left in the game. North Carolina State had come out with some vigor to start this 3rd quarter with 2 touchdowns, but North Carolina answers back, and there are Jay Davis's numbers.
As a quarterback, you realize you're in the 4th quarter, but a lot of time left in this game. No reason to force a football Let your defense come out if there's nothing there.
Third and long, pick up the blitz. Now Davis is going to throw, and that's all caught. Hicks comes upfield, but he's dropped at the 31-yard line. Jacoby Watkins with another nice tackle by that secondary of the Tar Heels. And some very good tackling today on their part. Not from shy of a first down by about 3, so it's time to punt.
Good job in man coverage. Come up and make that tackle. Jacoby Watkins one-on-one with Hicks. He's the only guy there. If he doesn't make that tackle, Hicks scores.
Well, Delaney healthy enough to come on and punt for the Wolfpack, and he gets it away. This is returnable by Brandon Tate. And here he comes. Breaks one tackle, 2. Spun around and dropped at the 39-yard line. 41-yard punt and a 10-yard return, and very good field position for North Carolina when we come back. 12:31 left in this one. Tar Heels by 4. First and 10, North Carolina. They've got the lead by 4. They're at their 38-yard line. And they hand off to Barrington Edwards. Nothing's happening there. In fact, maybe he lost a yard on the play. So, Dave, you've got the lead by 4, but I would think you've still got to be aggressive in your play calling.
Definitely. I think you stay with what you've done over the last 15 minutes or so. They've done a good job of moving the football, and you see that, Matt Baker, I mean, what a dramatic turnaround, and I really think it's Gary Frankel made a concerted effort to try to get him in a rhythm, short passing, and get him rolling.
That was one of his receivers wiping his hands on Baker's jersey. And Baker will pass. Avoids the rush. He can put it under his arm and run. Got the first down and a couple of more to the 50-yard line.
Well, if you play man coverage in the secondary and you lose contain on the quarterback, this is what happens. It's man coverage across the board. 2 single safeties in the playing zone, man underneath. And see, nobody's responsible for the quarterback in man coverage. Defensive line lost contain. Nice run by Baker.
First down, the ball just across that 50-yard line stripe in North Carolina State territory. That's Pollock in motion, top of your screen. Draw play to Edwards up the middle. He's got a little bit of a hole, and then it's closed off nicely. Mario Williams showing some good speed to come over from his left end spot and close off that hole.
Well, these 2 defensive ends for NC State are impressive. Mario Williams, Manny Lawson, we've said their name a ton today, and they just continue to make plays. That was a play where he's rushing upfield, the draw play goes by him, and then he runs the defender down, or runs the running back down. Coach Amato's got two guys that can come and get you.
Second down, 7 to go, Tar Heels. Baker pumps and then throws. Oh, nice catch, cutting across. From the far side was Darrell Mitchell, senior on a Winston-Salem. That's a 13-yard hookup from Baker and another North Carolina first down.
Well, this is an outstanding throw. Top of your screen, Darrell Mitchell on the inside slant move, but it's a product of offensive line blocking. Watch how much time Baker has. Nobody in his face. And when you're a quarterback and you got that kind of time with nobody getting in your face, you're going to make some plays.
Tar Heels on the march. They've got the lead. 28-24. They're at the Wolfpack 34-yard line. Again, Baker pumps. Nobody open. Blitz from behind, and they're going to get him for a sack. It's Manny Lawson. 3rd sack today for the Wolfpack.
Now, Matt Baker, there's a time clock in your head as a quarterback, and you have to understand how much time your offensive line is going to be able to give you. And you get a feel for that. It's a feel thing in a game. The time clock has to go off in Matt Baker's mind here. A lot of time. Good protection. Now, okay, I need to think about throwing this away, and he just doesn't do it. Manny Lawson makes a big play for the NC State defense.
And a loss of 12. And it's second and a bunch. 2nd and 22 yards to go for a first down. 5-man rush, blitz up the middle, but a swing, good call to the outside. Upfield, Arnold Arnold, excuse me. And Arnold takes it to the 30-yard line. And That was a very nice call there with that pass rush coming right up the gut. A pickup of 16. Cooter Arnold gets him down to the 30-yard line. Here's our Hummer scoreboard, and still tied in the fourth quarter, BC and Clemson.
How many Clemson fans want to see them go to overtime again?
Well, they're seeing that Chauncey Stuckey Whitehurst pass play in their nightmares all this past week. Here's a big third down call for the Wolfpack offense. For the Wolfpack, for the Carolina offense. Over the middle, and it's caught. Holly's got the first down, trying to shake free, and does at the 20. But his helmet flies off, and he carries Tatler to the 11-yard line. Jesse Holly. What an effort after the catch. Helmet came flying out.
Well, the excitement over these receivers is justifiable. Jesse Holly, 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver, comes to the inside. And now the run after the catch is what makes these guys so exciting. We've seen Jaworski, Pollock do it, Mike Mason, and now Jesse Holly.
At the 15, first down. Here's the handoff. This is Arnold sweeping left out to 10, and he's down at about the 7-yard line. So the clock is moving. North Carolina leads by 4, and they're knocking at the door again. And let's take a look at our red zone numbers here. There you go. That's a look at the red zone. Visit call to recycle.org to find the battery and cell phone collection sites nearest you. Hand off up the middle. Arnold again. He's down about the 5-yard line, running over that left hash mark as they pound away at this Wolfpack defense. And that is very close to a first down. It is a first down. So now first and goal for North Carolina.
As North Carolina tailbacks are getting some real good blocking out in front. The receivers are doing a good job, but they brought in fullback Nick Skarcevic, and he had a real good block on the play prior to this last one.
Barrington Edwards back in the ballgame at tailback. Phillips, the tight end, in motion. Hand off to Edwards, and he's not going anywhere. And Oliver Hoyt, the middle linebacker, came in and broke that play up to start off.
Well, if you're an NC State fan, this is a key series right here. These next two downs, got to hold them to a field goal, because if North Carolina punches it in with just 7.5 minutes left, it becomes a 2-score game.
Second and goal from the 7. Shotgun formation. Draw play. Barrington Edwards up the middle and caught from behind, and there's Hoyt again. That was all over the field here for the Wolfpack, and needs to be, because this defense has to stop North Carolina from reaching the end zone.
Trying to keep the clock moving. Ran the ball again on second down, a little bit close to the vest. Here I would expect them to get Baker an opportunity to extend this game out to an 11-point lead. They can put it in the end zone.
Some late substitutions for the Wolfpack defensively as North Carolina breaks the huddle, and because of that, a timeout called by North Carolina State. So we've come down to the biggest third down call this game. And if you're John Bunting, you're thinking one thing, and here's Chuck Amato coming out to talk to his troops, and he needs to stop here, Dave. He needs this defense to keep the Tar Heels out of the end zone.
Well, they've done such a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback. I think that Chuck Amato's style is to come and get you, and I would expect NC State to dial up some pressure. On the other side, you got to figure Gary Quanquill, the offensive coordinator, and John Bunting, the head coach over at North Carolina, are probably thinking the same thing. Hey, they may come after us, so let's build in some of those quick shots so we can get the ball maybe to Jaworski, Pollock, or Mike Holly cutting to the inside so they can score on man coverage.
ACC football is brought to you in part by Alltel.
That's the fun thing. That's the chess match when you get in these situations. So Chuck Amato realizes that Coach Bunting's thinking that, and then they play a blanket zone. So that you try to call a play as an offensive coordinator that's a good play against both looks. So if you don't get it, you do get pressure, you get the shot. But if you don't, they play zone. You've got an outlet for your quarterback to get him the ball, get some of the ball so they can score for you.
Well, this is the 12th play of this drive coming up for the Tar Heels. They've already used up 5 minutes, 53 seconds on the clock.
6 defensive backs in the game for North Carolina State.
And shotgun for North Carolina. Edwards just off to the right at quarterback. Matt Baker. And he's back to throw. Nobody open, scrambling to his right, trying to take off for the end zone, and can't. They stop him. Good secondary play. Nobody open, and then Tullett makes the stop down around the 7.
Well, that's the maximum belief in your athletes if you're Chuck Amato in the defensive unit, because they come with a 4-man rush and still play man coverage. So a tremendous belief in your guys to be able to cover the Carolina receivers and get pressure with 4.
Well, Connor Bard, who has missed 2 field goals today, is going to try a 24-yarder right hash mark. Snap is good. The kick is up. This time it's right down the middle. So the Tar Heels have gone up 7. 31-24, 5:53 left in regulation. Should I say that? The drama continues to build. Back in Raleigh, where North Carolina has tapped on a field goal and leads NC State by 7 points, 31-24. There's your scoring drive, and each of the scoring drives for North Carolina here in the second half have been long, impressive ones. And let's see if NC State can answer. This is Blackman, a yard deep and coming out with it. 15-20, breaks the tackle. Blackman off to the races, and finally caught around midfield. Big run for Blackman, who started the second half off with a huge return. And he's shaken up on the play. 50-yard run back that time.
They got some key blocks. J.C. Neal, number 14, is going to come up with a big block right where the wedge is. Watch for 14. And then Chauncey Graham. There's 14 sealing it. And Chauncey Graham, number 33, backup fullback. Another clean block down the field. Creates the big return.
The Jay Davis and company down 7 and have half the field to work with. Running play. Baker bouncing outside right. And hangs on. Does he keep going? No. And his knee touched the ground. The tackle made by Richardson. Let's see. They'll blow him down at the 46-yard line. Gain of 4.
Let's see. Does the knee touch down?
No, the arm
does not.
No knee, though.
The elbow went down.
Second down, 6. Davis working under center. Brooks is coming and it's down for a sack. 6 to the game. 6 to the game. Larry Edwards that time for the Tar Heels.
North Carolina does a good job of making Jay Davis think they're coming from the offensive left, and they come from the offensive right. Nobody steps out to make the block. Davis was looking left. He thought that's where the pressure was coming from.
So now, how big is this third down? With 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. Loss of 8 on that play. Davis pumps once, twice, goes over the middle, and Brown is... Baker is down to the turf, pass incomplete, no penalty flag on the play. And the Tar Heel defense holds. Now, what will NC State? I would assume they kick the football here.
Yeah, 4:23 left. I think you got to kick it with 4th and 15.
Yeah, they're
if it was 4th and 5, you might consider going for it, but not here. Too much time left. The opportunity for you to pin North Carolina deep. Hope your defense can get a stop. Boy, Jay Davis had Tremaine Hall open over the middle. Just was not able to get back to him getting the ball.
Duraney ready to punt. Good snap, kick, wobbles to the near side. Brandon Tate at the 15. And running backwards, looking for some blocks, and not getting them, and down at the 13-yard line. Hudson finally makes the tackle, and we have a late flag as well. 40 yards on that punt, and then a loss of 4 on the run back.
That came from the position where it's got to be an illegal block.
The Wolfpack players are saying block in the back.
On the return, 94 of the receiving team. That's block in the back. Then they go half the distance. First down.
Khalif Mitchell with the illegal block. Well, Tate makes a bad decision. Instead of hitting it straight up the field, he tries to run wide. He loses about 5 yards and 6 yards in return. Then it's magnified by an illegal block.
All right, we'll see what Chuck Amato's defense can do. Time running out. North Carolina leads by 7. There's our score. North Carolina by 7, and the Tar Heels start at their own 6-yard line. First down and 10. Barrington Edwards. Bit of a hole up the middle, and then it closes quickly up at the 8-yard line. Let's take a look at our Hummer scoreboard. And they're doing it again. Clemson and BC in overtime in Death Valley. As we've talked about, the loser of that game basically has no shot with 2 losses in the conference of getting to having a divisional title and getting to the ACC championship game. And right here, the Wolfpack kind of looking at the same scenario. If they lose this one to North Carolina. 2nd and 8. Edwards again as they play close to the vest, and he's up to the 10.
I think Chuck Amato's going to try to hang on to these 2 timeouts and see if he can get a stop right here. If he gets a stop here, then he might. Oh, he's only got 1 timeout left. My mistake. He's going to try to hang on to that timeout and save it for his offense.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go as the clock moves. North Carolina, this is their worst starting position of the game, and they are 3 of 10 in 3rd down conversions. This would be huge. As the Wolfpack fans cheer on the defense. 3rd and 7 from the 9-yard line. And another run. Edwards left side trying to turn the corner. 15. He's got the first down to the 20. Oh my goodness, and a late flag as well. 10-yard gain. And how big a play is that for the Tar Heels now with 2:37 to go? He goes out of bounds. There's a penalty on the play.
With the face mask.
Yep, face mask against the Wolfpack. So now Chuck Amato is going to have to use his timeout. And he cannot give up another
personal foul. The face mask. 15 yards added to the end of the run.
That's the big variety.
Automatic first down.
A.J. Davis uses it to pull Edwards to the ground. And that's going to get the 15-yarder. Real good job of blocking on the edge by North Carolina. Can't say enough about what John Hamlet did on the edge. Good job, Jesse Holley, the wide receiver, getting a block to allow Edwards to get to the outside.
10th penalty against the Wolfpack for 78 yards. And now fresh set of downs for North Carolina at the 40-yard line. And you bet you these are going to be running plays. Edwards up the middle. Wrapped up and dropped by Tulloch. But, not a bad gain, a couple, and they're working on the clock. It continues to move with the Tar Heels by 7. 2:23 to go. Our halftime score was North Carolina 14-10 on top of the Wolfpack. North Carolina State then answered with 2 quick scores to take the lead. But then the Tar Heels came right back with 2 touchdowns of their own. They've added a field goal and lead by 7. And look at the rushing yards for North Carolina this afternoon. Working the clock again. Edwards hitting the backfield. That time Tank Tyler busted through. Knocked him to the turf, and now it'll be 3rd and long.
I think Coach Amato's going to try to save this timeout to after this play. Might want to burn the timeout after this play. It's a tough situation to be in with just 1. That's why you don't like to waste them early in the game on personnel moves and this and that. You got to save it for these situations. I think you'll see him use it after this play if North Carolina doesn't get a first down.
And there's a loss of 5 on that play, setting up a 3rd and 12 for North Carolina. I'm still thinking they're running here. Draw play, Edwards hitting the backfield, and down to the turf he goes. Forward progress, the 33-yard line. And now Chuck Amato, as you said, Dave, will use his final timeout. 4th down coming up with 1 minute, 13 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter in regulation. The drama continues. North Carolina leading NC State by 7. Closed captioning for today's telecast provided by S&K, America's men's store and the wardrobe supplier for our Jefferson Pilot sports broadcast crew. Let's see if they come after the punter here. 4th down. Good snap. Now they'll set up the return. Nice kick. And here we go, Blackman. Excuse me, this is Tremaine Hall, and great coverage by the Tar Heels special teams unit. 38-yard punt and a 4-yard return. Enter Cooper Tire's Ultimate Bowl Tour. And you can win a trip for you and 3 friends to 5 of college football's best bowl games, all in a private jet. That's the way Dave travels all the time. Right. For official rules, go to Cooper Dealer or go to your Cooper dealer or visit ultimatebowltour.com. Well, here you go. 1:01 to go. NC State out of timeouts, trailing by 7, and their ball at their 32-yard line. 4-man Carolina rush. Davis gets it away. He's got a man open. It's tipped and it's incomplete. Just off the fingertips of Lamar Barrett. 2nd down, 10.
I'm not sure Kareem Taylor touched this ball, but he did enough to get in Barrett's face as the ball went by to deflect his vision, where the ball kind of careened off of Barrett, incomplete.
Well, the 95th meeting between these two schools has had everything. Let's see what kind of finish we got. 2nd down, 10. Good protection. Davis rolls, pumps, fires, caught. Sterling Hicks makes the catch. That'll stop the clock. 1st down, up at the 45-yard line. 13-yard pass play, 44 seconds to go.
Now, Jay Davis, his job is to get the play call and get everybody set so he loses no time when this ball is marked ready for play. The ball, remember, the clock stops with the 1st down, which is what they got on that completion.
He was pushing his center. Get over the ball. The ball wasn't there yet. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, Davis has to scramble. Caught, fires over the middle. That's caught by the tight end, T.J. Williams. He's at the North Carolina 40-yard line. That's another 1st down. That stops the clock. That's a pickup of 15.
Same scenario, 32 seconds left. Has enough time.
Think we're going to need replay here at the end? And here we go from the Tar Heel 40, shotgun formation. Davis pumps again. Scrambling. Now he heaves it. Their sideline up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Fans wanted the penalty, and they say the ball was uncatchable. The pass for Sterling Hicks.
17 seconds left. Jay Davis has got to remain calm. He's getting a little bit antsy. Had a chance for Tremaine Hall down through the middle. He got off him a little too quick. Good job of throwing the ball away, not taking a sack.
17 seconds. Wolfpack down 7. Their ball at the North Carolina 40. They have no timeouts. Again out of the shotgun. Davis looking, far side, ball caught, and it's a fumble. Ball's loose. Now they're going to say incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 8 seconds. Well, here we are. This is what happened last year. They were looking for a replay. Initially ruled on McClendon's run a touchdown, but they take a look at it. Well, they didn't take a look at it. One official said, no, the knee was down. We're not sure what happened. Then another chance for North Carolina on defense.
With 8 seconds here, this is a throw that probably has to go in the end zone.
Last play, possibly. Davis in the pocket. He's it way up top. Into the end zone. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete. And the ball game is over. North Carolina has won it. They've come to run and knocked out the Wolfpack.
Now the referee is signaling for the players to go off the field. It's saying it's not over yet.
Scoreboard clock says 0.
This is just your classic Hail Mary play. You're looking for a ball to be tipped, something you get your hands on. You're never going to get a pass interference call on the jump ball. But the referees now have conferred, and it is a wrap. North Carolina wins.
The Citgo ACC Game of the Week has been brought to you by Citgo for the road ahead, by Hummer, by Bell South, by Johnsonville Brocks, by Hyundai, and by Geico.
What a finish for North Carolina, holding off a desperation pass of about 40 yards in the final ticks of the clock. And North Carolina has won here in Raleigh, 31-24. There was more drama down in Clemson in overtime. Boston College, a winner. Wow, what a great afternoon of football, a wild and woolly game here in Raleigh. We'll come back and wrap things up after this word from your local stations.